addicted to success.
What's up? Welcome to your favorite podcast, The Ain't Shit Show, the home of booze, views, and unpopular opinions. I want to thank y'all for joining us for episode 139.
Yeah.
My name is Fresh, and I'm one half of the pod gods. And with me, I got the best man in all the podcast land, my right-hand man, Mr. BL.
Yeah. Hola, hey. Hope y'all doing all right. God bless you on this beautiful pollen-filled Tuesday, if you're in the South, or in my part of the South, because not everywhere in the South has pollen. But, yeah. Happy day.
Yeah, happy day, everyone. Pollen, let's talk about it. Pollen in Atlanta.
I don't want to hear us talking shit about it.
Georgia, right?
Infiltrate our homes.
Big facts. I'm blessed because I don't have allergies. I always feel bad for the people who do. I know people with allergies. I've dated people with allergies, and once y'all go down, I'll be feeling bad for y'all. The ones who eyes just running and all stuffed up and congested, and they just look like they going through it. It look like some misery,
for
man.
Sure.
Any of your kids or your wife, like anybody in your house, have allergy issues? Damn, except for you.
Except for me. Yeah.
But you gotta suffer through it with everybody, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, at some points in the day, I might have some type of sensitivity to it, but nothing nowhere near my little girl was coughing so bad she threw up and shit last night. Shit was wet. Her eyes was fucking swollen. Shit garbage.
Poor baby. Listen, let me tell you something. The pollen in Georgia is unlike any place I've ever seen in my life. It's like this thick green blanket over it.
Yeah,
everything.
Well, it's yellow here, but yeah, we got a bunch of pine trees because it comes from pine trees.
Oh, is that the origin? Well, they must have a lot of them hoes here because it's sure. Bad. It's everything you look outside, everything is just, I guess, I don't know if you call it a dark yellow or light green. Either way, it's on the cars. It's everywhere. I left my door open for maybe an hour while I was, I burnt sage and shit, and I left the door open for maybe an hour. And when I tell you, on the end table that's near that back door, it was a fucking green film on top of that shit. I was like, bruh, I had this shit open for 45 minutes, an hour. It's just crazy.
Yeah, this shit is in the air. This shit is ambient, as they say.
I feel sorry for you guys. Listen, much love to y'all. Feel better. Happy belated birthday, King. How was that?
Appreciate
How are
that.
You?
Oh, life's good, man. Had a great birthday. Had a great birthday weekend. It was awesome. Shout out to my old lady for orchestrating some of that shit. We just went to Savannah. Savannah is one of the most beautiful places in the world.
The place I still have not been, but it's on my radar.
That shit is beautiful. That is one beautiful fucking place. I'm gonna tell you that, straight up. That shit be jumping too. That shit jumping and it's fucking beautiful. So it's just a great place to go. Up downtown Savannah that shit is gorgeous. It's rich in history. Obviously built on the backs of blacks like everything in this country. But we did a little trolley tour. We did the trolley tour of the city, which is if you stay on from the beginning to end, it's 2 hours. But so the first day, they try to make you get a 2-day pass and shit, and I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna see all this shit in one day. So we got on there, we did the one day, and then I realized how they were doing it. They were just show me your boarding pass and shit. They won't scan and shit. I was like, oh, I'm getting back on this motherfucker tomorrow. So I just kept my little sticker and my boarding pass, and I had that shit in my pocket, and I just got back on. So, cause the Saturday,
are you still history though?
You say what?
I said, how you steal history?
Because it's my history and they stole my history.
Facts.
That shit is,
Period.
Yeah.
Period. That's why, nigga. That's why.
For the rest. That's why. That shit was crazy. But like, it's a trolley tour, so you can get on and off. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got your sticker or whatever, and for the time that they operate. So as long as you get back on by 6, they'll take you to your car and shit. So I had the free parking on Saturday, so we just hopped on and off. And it's so, when I say it's like, it's probably, I think it's 18 stops, so it goes all around the city. You know what I'm saying? So you can get on and get off, and them shits, you know, like come every 2 minutes type shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And because they got so many of them, and it was dope also because we got to get on like several buses, so like people were, you know, giving facts that the other person didn't know or didn't give. You know what I'm saying? And interestingly enough, I had a black lady, and she was really good, but the white dudes was giving them, well, you know how that goes. White people always know our history better than we do, but the white dudes was giving facts and shit about like shit that I'm like, damn, she should have said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if she didn't know it or like she should know it.
But you know, certain shit more pertinent to some people than others too.
I mean, but black history is black history. Like if you're a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like I found out like they go by this big ass bell. I don't know what street it's on, but they go by this big ass bell, and the bell was used. It was used for firefighting. Like, and then guess who the first firefighters were? You guessed it, black people. Until they realized that was a prestigious job, and then you know, took it over. So this was like this was. I don't know if it was post-slavery or like right during the Reconstruction era, but they had like, and they rang it because the way fucking Savannah set up, it's in what they call squares. You know, like certain cities have squares or whatever. So like whenever they would get the notification, because obviously they didn't have cell phones, they would ring the bell for
wait, they
whatever,
get the
like
text?
How many times per square. So if they had like 7, like if the shit was on 7 square or like on 7th Street or whatever the fuck, like they would ring the bell 7 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a big ass fucking bell. So they ring that shit and then people just run to wherever they was at. You know what I'm saying?
And wait, what's this bell is the indication of what?
It's a fire.
Oh, that it's a fire. And that's the street. Like, Morse
so if I ring it 7
code
times, go to block 7.
And just ride down that bitch until you smell smoke.
Just find out. You gonna see the smoke. You know what I'm saying? I guess. But they got 25 squares and shit. So the dude was like, yeah, you know, after they got to the 14th, they just said, fuck it. Cause by the time they ring that shit 14 times, your house gonna be bumped.
Pretty much.
It was like, that shit was dope. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Pretty
I had
much.
like 5 or 5. So we got off on and it's got great food. They got a river, like the Savannah River runs through that shit. And like to tell you, like Savannah, Georgia was the first fucking, like, that was the origin of the colony of Georgia. You know what I'm saying? When it's the 13th colony and shit. Like that was the first place that was settled. And the reason that it was settled, I guess you won't even need the tour because clearly I'm giving it to you. But, you know, I like history and shit. So that shit was right up my fucking alley. And I was on that bus for fucking 10 times. So I know I could give the goddamn tour myself because I learned it.
You just got you a part-time.
Yeah, it was some dude named Oglethorpe, you know what I'm saying? He came from England and, it was, Georgia was originally set up to be a, military bunker for the defense of South Carolina from Spaniards of Florida invading because they were Catholics and they didn't want Catholicism to run amok in fucking South Carolina and the rest of the world. God. So Georgia was set up as a bunker to fucking ward off them niggas and shit. So
Georgia was the borderline for fucking South Carolina.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was set up to be the defense between South Carolina and Georgia. So, I mean, South Carolina and Florida. Excuse me. So, yeah, because the Spaniards were there. Like the Spanish had invaded Florida, and then they were doing their 1-2 with that. You know what I mean? So
that's dope, though.
Yeah, it's really dope. And like I said, that shit was so jumping. Like, that shit was jumping, man. Like, and I know it was COVID and shit, but it just felt good to be out and about. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, that shit felt amazing. Like, I was masked up and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, the whites ain't masked. The whites don't do the mask. Like, the whites don't. The whites. Shout out to the white people, but y'all have been spreading disease and famine
since the beginning of time.
Since you crawled from the grave. From the cave. So,
no, big facts though.
You got to accept that too. You're a cancer.
And they still don't care about germs. Like,
they
all
don't
germs.
wash their hands. Like, they don't, I mean, niggas is nasty too. Don't get it fucked up. But.
Different way though.
Yeah, it's a difference. Absolutely. We just have sex raw and shit.
That's a human thing right there. Yeah, that's a human for trait.
Sure. That's a fact. But,
that is 100% a human trait right there.
But nah, it was really dope. You know what I mean? Like, they got some great food. The river is fucking super dope. I had a nice hotel. It was high as a bitch, but fuck it was my birthday.
Hey.
And I haven't really been anywhere, so I've had money to burn in terms of vacations and shit. So, past
rich, you can't do nothing with money.
You say what?
I said you rich, you can't do nothing with money, but spend it.
But, yeah, so I had a good couple weeks. I went to Florida the week before.
Oh yeah, how was that? The kids have a ball?
Great. Yeah, we had a good time. We, took them to Legoland. And, just pool hopped. Like, our hotel had like 15 pools. We stayed in some resort. So they had like, in a water park and shit. So we really didn't have to do much because, you know, my kids is fucking 8 and 5. So they like shit. If they swim all day, they lit. So
bruh, that's one thing I do know about kids. And if I ever had kids or have to babysit kids, I'm getting them motherfuckers in somebody's pool and they will have a ball and pass the fuck out. So that's the one thing I do know.
Yeah, my kids can swim, so like they pretty much. I mean, you got to keep an eye on them, but for the most part, like they, you know, they off on their own. They can survive. So,
were they making friends? That. Like, were they friends? Like, were they friends with other kids in the
kids
pool?
Gonna do that naturally. You know, it's kind of hard, like to, you know, like I'd be like, yo, don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't talk to nobody, but you in the pool, so like, you know what I'm saying? It's communicable as a motherfucker anyway. So but I was wondering, I was like, how does chlorine affect COVID? But who knows? Don't nobody know.
Nobody knows anything, B. You know that. There are no answers. 1 year later, no answers.
Nobody knows. They'll never know.
They'll never know. They're gonna know.
They're gonna know.
What's wrong with grandma? Knows. Oh, they're gonna know.
That shit's crazy. But yeah, so shit, had a nice couple past weekends or weeks past, 2 or 3 weeks. It's been dope. You know what I'm saying? It was cool to get on the plane with the kids. That was a little anxiety filled. I will say that. Just cause it was a million fucking people and one time, Spirit ain't fucking missing no flight. So it's not, that was.
Was your Spirit flight good though? Was the Spirit flight? Okay, good.
Yeah, that shit was beautiful. Like, that shit, I mean, aside from it being packed, you know what I'm saying? Like it was no delays. Well, no, that's not true. It was a delay of like 35. They had it for an hour, but it ended up shortening to like 35 minutes cause they had to like disinfect it and shit like that and let it sit for 10 minutes. So we did that. And like I said, it was just packed to the gills because everybody had their stimulus and their fucking taxes at that time. So, everybody went to Florida for fucking spring break. That bitch was jumping, like super jumping. But if you stay where, I mean, that's just, it was a lot of anxiety and it was a lot of hand sanitizer and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was also 95 degrees in fucking March. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like, man, but look, nigga, it was impossible to have a mask on all the time because you fucking hot as fuck. Like breathing that hot ass air and shit. You know what I mean? Like, COVID is a bad motherfucker to be able to withstand Florida because
big facts.
Like nigga, it was 95 degrees in March. Like it felt like July. Like real shit. Like you couldn't even be outside. Like you had to be like posted up somewhere like in the shade or something in the AC.
I always have the debates with Tighe, our homegirl friend of the show.
Shout out to Tighe.
I always have debates with her about, I was like, I need some type of seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't be in that shit all day. Like, I don't like cold. I don't like boiling hot. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely need some type of seasons. And, she's like, she stays in, Florida in Fort Lauderdale. And she's like, I don't ever want to wear pants ever again. I'm just like, this shit is humid. Like, listen, when I was in Jamaica, it was not humid. Like, Florida is just so fucking humid. I can deal with heat. Like, I'd rather go to Vegas at 110.
That's a fact.
Than Florida at 90.
That's a fact. Shit, nigga, like North Carolina at 90, Georgia in the South 90 is like 90 here versus 110 and fucking like with no humidity. I'm cool. Like cause that shit it's just dry. Like it'd be hot.
I'll take a dry heat any day. Yeah, for sure. Over humidity.
I'm from the South, so that's all I've ever experienced and lived in. You know what I'm saying? So like that shit sucks. Like, and I couldn't believe it was fucking March, nigga. I was like, yo, why is it so fucking hot? Like I've been to. Nah,
it was warm twice. That week. It was warm that week. You went everywhere, but so the places that is already warm is boiling. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
nigga, it was one day it was 96. The Saturday it was 96 fucking degrees. Like at 2 o'clock, like in the peak of the day. It was fucking ridiculous, bro. Like, I remember, like, I was trying to sit under the shade, like the little umbrella, and then damn, my foot was peeking out. Boy, God, what? That shit. I said, fuck this. And I ain't feel like, like, I ain't feel like getting in the pool. Like, I don't be feeling like getting in the pool. Like, I don't feel like being wet and shit. Yeah, sometimes.
You not even just sit?
Yeah, sometimes. Like, I mean, I get in the pool with my kids, but I wasn't in the mood to get in the pool. I didn't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just was.
That fucking heat didn't motivate you to, parlay sitting on the edge of that pool, sitting to your waist.
It was just sitting in the fucking, it was still sun out and shit. Like, that shit still be beating on your fucking ass. Like, nah, I'm cool. I was straight. But,
it's a certain level of heat before it becomes miserable. You know what I'm saying? Just like, I mean, I guess with any extreme weather, like it's all right until it just becomes too much. But, I'll pick, trying to get warmer versus trying to get cooler.
Yeah, well, it depends. It
depends though. Now that I said
like
out
you
loud,
can layer up,
depends.
like you can't
like, get cooler on your own.
Postman. One of my best friends, he a postman. He been delivering mail for 20-something years and shit. He was like, nigga, I love the winter. He was like, I can put plenty of shit on. He's like, to get warm. He's like, you can't, he's like, I can't, he's like, you can be naked outside and it still be hot as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, nah. In terms of outside, if I'm working and moving and shaking outside, I'd much rather be in a colder environment and I can layer up versus.
Because the body gonna generate heat. You're gonna get warmer. You can always layer up. My whole thing is that you can get warmer on your own. You can't really get cooler on your own. Like you need a device. You need a air conditioner. You need a fan. You need something outside of you need some type of technology to get yourself cooler. You know what I'm saying? Like warmer, I can just put on a bunch of shit, and if we're talking about sleeping, I'm cool with getting in the bed, putting all my motherfucking covers over me and staying in that bitch, even though you can't exit the bed. Versus if I'm high, I'm miserable, bro. Like when I'm sleeping, I'm high.
Sleep
I can't.
Is the worst shit in the world. I hate that shit. Like just be sweating. That shit is the fucking trashiest shit ever. Like I hate it. Shit blows.
I said I need to. Well, I haven't had a physical this year, so I need to go get one. But I feel like I've been having like some cold sweats, and I don't know what that's about. And anything that's abnormal, I'm like, I need to go to the doctor and see what's going on here. Like it'll be cold. Like I could be sitting here like chilling, and then like my hands will start sweating for no reason, and that's new. Or like I'll be asleep and it's chilly.
Might be time for the change, man. You might be going through the change.
Hey, I mean, I'm a woman, and that is very possible.
Early menopausal type shit.
I hope not. Don't wish that shit on me.
Is that bad?
Yes, it is very bad. It's very bad. It's bad.
Oh, no, I don't want you that.
No, don't make me have that. Don't make me have that. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But, normally it's driven by, indicator is like your parents or your mom. You can kind of, people do in fact have early menopause and things that can deviate from like their genetics and shit like that. But my mom didn't go through, any type of signs of menopause until she was almost 60. So I'm hoping for a luscious life. But it still could be other things, or it could be just something environmental or what or whatever the case may be. So I ain't wishing no bullshit. I just found out. I figured that's weird. So I just feel like I'm an advocate of 50-50. I'm an advocate because I can say all this shit I want and then be like, I'm making a doctor's appointment, and next month it's like, I'm still making this doctor's appointment.
Yeah, sometimes.
As long as it don't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shit start hurting, then you get to get in business.
Because I seen the other day. I was watching, what the fuck was I watching? I was watching Mahalia Jackson shit when I was in fucking Savannah and shit, like one of the nights that we were just chilling.
Yeah.
And, which was really dope. Came on Lifetime. Robert Roberts produced it. And I didn't really know anything about Mahalia Jackson. My pops, like, loves Mahalia Jackson. My
grandmother loved Mahalia Jackson.
Yeah. Like,
hi, grandma.
No bullshit. My dad was watching YouTube of Mahalia Jackson today. I meant to tell him about the movie too. I forgot about it.
How old is your dad?
He'll be 70. He'll be 70 this year.
Oh, okay. So he in the range. He in the Mahalia Jackson, sure, Aretha Franklin range. You know what I mean? Like that range.
Type shit. Yeah. But yeah, so that was dope. And she had some like, she ended up having a hysterectomy and shit like, at some point in her life, and like was having complications of it. She used to have like some shit, and she ended up like passing out right after
fibroids or some shit.
Probably something like that.
Most women have those.
Right. And so she ended up passing out, and she was bleeding and shit. And she was like, I don't want to go to no doctor because doctors use black people as an experiment. She was like, started running that shit down. And I was like, damn, boy. And that was, and I forgot how, she was, maybe 50 or 60 at that time because she already had a son, but she was like, I had one thing ailing me and they just took my damn insides out and and testing it out and you know what I'm saying and shit like that. So I was like, damn, boy, motherfuckers has really been, fucking guinea pigs. You know what I'm saying? That shit runs deep.
Hell yeah. I was, telling you, we discussed, 1916 podcast,
For sure.
1619 podcast, sorry.
1619.
Yeah. Seemed like 1916, but yes, 1619.
Might as well be for sure.
Podcast. And one of first of all, it was amazing. We've already talked about it, so I won't go down that rabbit hole.
I need to listen to it again.
One of the greatest facts that I learned from that I didn't know anywhere else was, pretty much behind the origin, which it makes perfect sense, but behind the origin of, black people and, being herbalists and, finding natural ways to defend against disease and illness and things of that nature. I thought that was amazing. And it just made perfect sense that they're like, listen, they're using us as experiments. They're spreading the rhetoric that, if you don't treat us, we'll just die out, which is crazy to me. You brought some people here and then just like, oh, we bought the dog, don't feed the dog and the dog will die and we'll be over it. Like, it's just crazy how we ain't gonna get into that. But, they said that if you don't treat us, we'll die out. And so black doctors and black people had to figure out, ways, which is probably the best way, keeping it a band. Like we laugh at, or turn our nose up at older relatives and their remedies and shit like that. But shit, that shit was working, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was using all that shit. Put the onion in the shoe. Drink that ginger ale. Motherfucking drink that hot toddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like figuring out ways how we're going to do this, like in about medicine. And I was having a conversation with a nurse. I actually went inside a restaurant to pick up a to-go. And while I was waiting to pick up the to-go, I met a black nurse or whatever. And, because they were practicing social distancing in the restaurant and they wouldn't let more than one, if two people be together unless they're all together. And so because I was there, she kind of came over and introduced herself to me. And she, advised me that she was like, hey, like, do you mind if I sit here? And she said, hey, I'm a nurse. I've been vaccinated for over 2 months, so basically like telling me she's not a threat and shit. Right. And she was older black woman. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So I let her sit there. I still had my mask and shit on, so I wasn't really tripping like that. But she sat right there and then we just kind of struck up a conversation or whatever. Like we started talking and she asked me, was I getting the vaccine? And I was just like, no, I don't want, they not about to Tuskegee me, but I support whoever makes that decision. For themselves. I feel like, it's a personal decision. And, she was just like, I never really, thought about it that way and XYZ. And I'm just like, this lady, she's an older black lady. She has gray hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming she around my mama age minimum. But she's still actively working and, whatever. So I don't know what retirement age is these days, but I figure her to be at least my mom age. But it was very interesting to me that she, as a black nurse, never really thought about it that way. When I assume that all black people think about it that way, like The government been experimenting, period. And we've been guinea pigs, just based on history and, all these black women dying during childbirth and all of these other things and statistics saying that black doctors don't listen to black women. And it just seems like we're always getting the short end of the stick. And although I wouldn't deem her to be uninformed. She seemed very intelligent. However, she just said that, I never thought about it that way. And nobody has ever brought it up that way, to me. And now she like thinking about it and shit. Like, damn, what did they put in me? You know what I'm saying? She's just
that's funny. It's funny. And I was, people have been going back and forth. I know motherfuckers who had COVID, they got vaccinated and don't, cause they were like, I don't want that shit again. That shit was the worst shit ever.
I eat like my flu shot. That's how I got a flu shot.
And like I said, it's really no right or wrong answer. You gotta do what's best for you. But it was funny because I was looking at a comedy special, and dude, he was like a pharmacist by day and a comedian by night. He was like, y'all niggas is crazy. He was like, y'all think, like, he was like, I'm a pharmacist. He was like, it be niggas that ain't got a high school diploma that been telling me about fucking vaccines and shit. He's like, nigga, I am $100,000 in debt because of this shit that I know. He was like, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, my goddamn cousin and them be telling me about the vaccines and whoop and got this and that. And I was like, them bitches don't know a chemical component worth of fuck besides Comet and Ajax and shit. That's really funny as hell. He was like, and another thing, I don't have a set of black fucking, vaccinations and a set of white vaccinations. Like, ooh, give me 1 second. I got the wrong one. Like, this shit was funny as fuck. Like,
shit, nigga, you might not.
He's like, yeah, take what you got. You know what I'm saying? He's like, take, do what you think is best for you. But I'll just tell you this, from a pharmacist perspective, I don't have a color coded fucking vaccine list. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all the same. It's made. If they gonna kill you, they gonna kill them niggas too. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah,
I mean, I get it in theory. However, with any science experiment, you have a controlled population and you have a variable population. And if you think they still not out here, I'm not saying that they are necessarily on that shit. And I really want, as much as America disappoints me on a very hourly basis, what you don't understand is that, listen, certain shit goes certain places.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you don't have the separate list doesn't mean that certain shit ain't going to Atlanta and certain shit going to Iowa. You know what I'm saying? So, but listen, at the end of the day, I definitely respect whatever. I'm not going to ever try to talk somebody out of doing some shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like you said, you got to do what's best for you and you got to make a decision. I mean, I could forego the vaccine, definitely not trying to jinx it and then, possibly catch COVID. You could take the vaccine and possibly catch COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all taking risk here. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like people just need to do what's best for them. But I just know me and I know how I'm set up and I know my belief system and my trust with the fucking government. And at the end of the day, listen, what we've learned over the past 4 years is that the government don't give a fuck about nobody, keeping it a band. So, you know what I mean? Keeping it a band. So it's not even like they would just target a certain demographic, which I feel like that would be more likely, but they try to figure that shit out on everybody, and I just heard about a COVID pill they're trying to come out with to replace the vaccine.
Yeah. No, I ain't heard about that one.
Yeah. So, one of the pharmaceutical companies is making a COVID pill. Which that should be very interesting because if you have to get a shot, 9 times out of 10, it's a very concentrated amount of whatever they're injecting into you. I would love to see, not personally, but I would love to see how a pill would work because that shit seemed like it would be so fucking strong, like whatever it is in it. Right. You know what I mean? It would seem so fucking strong, like you fucking throw up or some shit, having some shit like that. My mom been telling me about, I guess, the benefits of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is, I'm assuming 1 shot versus the other vaccines, which are 2 shots. Have you heard any difference on your end with the individuals, getting that COVID vaccine?
I know
they have any preferences?
Johnson.
They say no.
Nigga, I know niggas just ain't like I haven't heard anybody that personally gotten the Johnson & Johnson.
Gotcha.
Them niggas been given cancer, so I don't,
right.
fucking with that. Them niggas was putting in the baby powder. That's a fucked up shit.
Hey, that's what I said. That's funny because that's the same thing I told my mom. I said, well, Mom, she was like, well, you never know. Everybody out here experiment, whatever. I said, however, when I turn on my TV, Johnson & Johnson's always on there for giving bitches cancer.
Yep.
So that's all I need to know about your Yelp score. For now, I need to move on to the other 2, suspects. And she's really advocating on, taking this Johnson & Johnson shot. She said one of my aunts took it and, my aunt has a compromised immune system. So I was just like, well, I guess that she can take it and she good and she got it maybe a month or so ago. I was like, well, I guess it's okay for you. You're healthier than she is at this point in time. So it's whatever. Both of your parents got it yet? Were your parents getting it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got the Moderna.
Oh, so they good. So are they out? Or are they still being
out? Not a lot. You know what I mean? I mean, they out, but not going to doctor's appointments and shit like that. But they ain't going in the restaurants and shit like that.
Oh, they still not at that point. What's interesting?
They would. I don't know. I don't even know if they would or not.
A lot of the older people that I know, especially those individuals who were in that high risk group, a lot of them are saying, yeah, I got it, but still, you know what I mean? I guess shit different when it's life or death for you. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're in a high risk group. And you just yeah, so this vaccine is really just the precaution. And, I'm still staying away from y'all fucking germy ass motherfuckers out here. I get it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, Savannah was wide open. That shit was, motherfuckers, the whites was out. But like I said, I'll be honest with you, that shit was so dope and so beautiful. And it was only one time that I was kind of annoyed a little bit. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It was just it was just great to be out and walking around and fucking seeing people watching and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just normal. You know what I mean? And in addition to it being, mad little dive bars, you can go in and grab a drink, a little slice of pizza here, sit outside, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Live music and shit. Shit dope. I would highly recommend Savannah if you've never been.
Yeah.
It's one of the most beautiful cities ever.
When I was in Jamaica, it had me feeling a little too comfortable when I came back into the States. I got in my car. Thank God I have mask in my glove compartment or whatever, but up until that point, I've always been super diligent. You know what I'm saying? About grabbing a mask before I go out. And pro tip about a mask. I don't know if I said this on the last podcast, but do not use a brand new mask when you're traveling or you got to wear a mask all day long because that motherfucker will hurt your fucking ears.
Yeah, that's just trash.
Ever since Jamaica, I've been going. So I have a pack of, I have black, the surgical mask or whatever.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them too.
And I have a bunch of cloth masks as well. New ones that I've washed, all that. I mean, it's like drawers these days. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a rack of masks and shit. And, when I was about to leave, I'm like, oh, I'll put on a new mask for my trip. I'm gonna stunt with the new mask on. When I tell you that bitch had my ears fucking hurting like a bitch.
Yeah, that's
bruh. So ever since then, I've been using the disposable shits because they just easier to breathe. I was like, I hope I'm not letting COVID in easier because it really is the run-of-the-mill surgical mask. It's not like the N95s, but it's the black version of the regular blue surgical mask or whatever. But I really like the disposable ones, and I think that's my wave now.
Yeah, I don't got no. I ain't never had the other ones.
Oh, you never had the other ones. You always use the fresh one each and every time.
Well, no. So I have I have disposable masks, but I don't dispose of them right away. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that or not. Like I keep, I got masks all in my pocket and shit. Like, I just be keeping them shit. I don't know when, if they break or some shit, or if they just like, super old or some shit, or I just go through and throw a bunch of them shits away because we always getting new ones and shit. So I don't know.
Yeah, I try to throw my surgical ones away. Like I'll use it all day. But I try to throw those away because I use my real mask maybe like once or twice before I like wash it again. To y'all people who getting breakouts, wash your mask. Wash your mask, sweetie. Wash your mask. That's why your cheeks and chin is breaking out because you're not washing that damn mask. Wash your mask. Did you watch Verzuz? With Isley and Earth, Wind and Fire.
Nah, I saw some. I was in and out of it. Not really. I'll be honest, not really. Like I don't know. Nah, I watched the Ray and Ghost shit. That shit was super dope.
I didn't even know that shit was coming on until the next day. I didn't even know the shit came on.
Yeah, they didn't promote that shit very well because that was like the chain. That was the new one, like under the Triller. So they didn't promote that shit. Was still dope though. I enjoyed it. I saw a little bit of the Isley Brothers shit. It was cool when I tuned in and shit like that. It was good to see them niggas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, nah, I ain't watch a whole lot of it.
Yeah, I tried initially. Steve Harvey, he's not really for me. He's not really, a personality that I gravitate towards for my entertainment. Being a successful black man, I'm always down for that. But as far as my personal entertainment, he's not really for me. And so like I watched maybe like the first 30 minutes and Steve Harvey was doing his Steve Harvey thing. He kept calling.
Yeah. Did you see Godfrey bad? Did you see the spoof?
Yes.
Man.
Godfrey always kills.
That
Godfrey kills. Evian kills too.
Ridiculous. Yeah, they all three of them. Mm-hmm. Spice Adams, they killed that. But Godfrey and that is the best impersonation I've ever heard in my life. That shit is the funny. Like, and I done heard some good impersonations, and I could do some relatively good ones, but he would do that fucking yeah.
Listen.
And I watched that shit live. That shit was so funny. Man. I watched that shit about 5-6 times after that shit went off.
Bruh, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what was so funny to me. I told you I only really watched the first 30 minutes. He kept calling DJ D Nice, DJ Nice. Yeah, and then it was just like D Nice playing the song and they was just sitting there bobbing their head. I was like, and they in the 20s, so I don't even know these songs. You know what I mean? That song 18, 19, 20. I don't even know these songs. I'm really looking for the top 10. You know what I'm saying? That's what was played in my house. I need the top 10 songs that was played. And I'm sitting there for that 30 minutes like, wait, it's 3 people in the Isley Brothers, ain't it? Where the fuck is Mr. Biggs?
I know.
Like, I looked at that shit for that whole 30 looking for him.
I was like, man, Mr. Biggs ain't in there. And they just kept saying, like, Mr. Biggs in there, he killing that shit with the chinchilla. I'm like, who the fuck is he at with the chinchilla? Like, I swear to God. That's God, word, I didn't know. Man, I couldn't even find this nigga. Like, I'm like, Ron Isley ain't there? I don't give a fuck.
Bruh. High key, I was just like, oh, Ron Isley must be on like some diva shit waiting to be called out separately or some shit. Nigga sitting there the whole time. Bitches in the fucking Twitter and Instagram, everybody talking about something. Oh, Ron Isley look like a zaddy over there. I'm just like, where the fuck they saying Ron Isley at?
Ron Isley, man.
Where the fuck is this nigga, bro?
That's why I started watching. I was like, this nigga here, but y'all saying he here. Like, y'all niggas, I don't know. I was like, I'm watching on my phone. Maybe they watching on TV. He on the widescreen. I ain't know what's going on.
Bro, hey, listen. Shout out to Ron Isley. Shout out to Beard Gang. Shout out to that chinchilla. I believe that all men, especially black men, should have some type of facial hair. Period. Like somewhere.
And they got a 14-year-old kid and finna turn 80. That's some bullshit.
Hey, niggas be nigging. Niggas be nigging.
That spunk don't dry out.
For sure. No. If you can get it up, it can come out.
That's a fact. And that shit's still potent.
Hey, listen. Hey, shout out to Ron Isley though. He looks great. He definitely looks great. He looked like an old school player pimp. I know a bunch of 30-year-old women you could have got last night, bro, or the other night, bro.
Yeah, he definitely could have beat some hoes.
He definitely could. They was on it.
He beating hoes. I'm pretty sure he's still fucking. Hey. Goddamn, you can't have no beard and fucking mink like that and not be getting a little pussy.
Hey, listen. When you see You're contagious, Ron Isley. You just like, oh yeah, he got hoes because he got money. He an old sugar daddy. Listen, I saw the other night. I was like, hoes might be giving this nigga money. He looks swagged out. Shout out to the swag, man.
I remember my mom told me like she was in Kansas City. She was like at the hotel like that they were staying at, and so she said it was a bunch of Asian motherfuckers who came up like the Ron eyes like, oh, take a picture, and he was like, and he posed and shit. They gave him the camera and shit like, take our picture. And shit.
Wait,
like,
they wanted Ron Isley to take their picture.
Take their picture, hey. It was like, you know, what
that's the
like,
ultimate ego crusher.
Real quick. Like, what, nigga? I'm Ron Isley. Fucking camera. But he took it though. She said he took it. He was cool. He started laughing and shit.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna need to lie. If I was a motherfucker of status and somebody asked me to take their picture, I would take it. I ain't gonna need to lie. Cause I would find that shit funny too. Like, alright. Humbling moment, my nigga. Humbling moment.
Yeah. Like, damn. I don't know anybody know you, bro. Take a picture. That nigga said he posed. She said he posted when the Rise Eyes posed and shit. And they were like, oh, nah. Here, give the camera. Hit this button, nigga. Fuck you mean?
Hey, let me tell you about this time I got Ron Isley to take our picture. That's what it's gonna be. Like, you see this picture of us? On the other side of that camera is Ron Isley. Like, that's who I got to take our picture.
There's a nigga with a mink and a fro with it.
That nigga had on the American Gangster Frank Lucas, how I got caught at the motherfucking boxing match coat on.
I want to lay on that motherfucker.
Hey, bruh, listen, Ron Isley is goals. Like, you be that old, you swagged out. You should swag out into the grave, I feel like. You should always swag out. Whatever your version of swag out is, you should always swag out. Until you can't. And don't tell nobody how you should get, don't let nobody tell you how the fuck that you should get fresh. Let me go on the soapbox real quick. Off that note. Hey y'all, listen. People will try to push their insecurities on you. People will try to push what they can't do off on you. People will see you out here living your fucking life and wonder why you not miserable like them. People will ask you, why haven't you done insert thing here that's making them currently miserable? Why haven't you gotten married? Why haven't you had kids? Or why are you still out here? And the answer is, why not? What's wrong with the way I do my shit when you sitting envying my shit? You sitting wishing you was where I was at. And then niggas will try to misery love company you. You know what I mean? Like, you should do XYZ. Listen, however anybody chooses to live their life, whatever it may be. Like I said, if everybody is consenting, everyone is of age, and everything is legal, do what the fuck you want to do, man. Don't let people force you or make you feel a way because they want company in their misery. If you living a life you don't want to live, stop living that shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Stop living that shit. Listen, I know people who are, and I'm just talking about some of the, I guess, conventional milestones of traditional living, right? Like, I know people who have children still living their best fucking life. I know people who are married living their best fucking life. I know people who run in businesses living their best fucking life. I know people, like, listen, you don't have to not live your life the way you want to because you also decide to take on responsibilities that may take on a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you should live however you want to live. Just because you're a parent doesn't mean that's all you are. You're a parent and, you know what I'm saying? You should definitely take on your responsibilities. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, like, there's no traditional way to be a wife. There's no traditional way to be a husband. There's no traditional way to be a parent or a business owner or something that has a lot of responsibility to it. There's life to still be lived, and you should also live that life. It's called balance. And if you can only do one thing, you need to understand that was your choice to do just this one thing. Or whatever this milestone is. You gotta take responsibilities for the choices that you make in life. And like I said, don't let people with insecurities tell you, you're 35, you should be doing this. Why? So I can be like you. Look at you. like, look at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, don't let society or people put their milestones on you. If you fucking Ronald Isley and you want to make fucking kids till you, till you fucking 80 and you can take care of them and you're a good dad and your dots, everything that you are in addition to that, do that shit, man. I just wanted to say that. Like, you should pay attention to people who don't clap for you. I just want to say that. Pay attention to that. And that, that's just off some real spill. You know what I'm saying? That's just off some real spill. And people will tell you things to try to manipulate you. Or, like I said, some misery can have company. And don't let people do that to you. And I'm off that soapbox, but I just find that very amusing, and it's just a human trait, and it's just kind of what people do when they can't understand how you are able to play out certain things in your life, or just simple shit like having money. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand how you can afford certain things, or whatever, or whatever.
Motherfucker always try to figure you out.
Always trying to figure you out, bruh. And what they can't figure out, they'll make up. What they can't, listen, one thing about me, bro, I love to keep motherfuckers guessing. Come up with your own shit, cause I ain't gonna never tell you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never going, avidly dole out the ins and outs of my business to you. You know what I'm saying? We cool. If we not, then we not. So don't act like we are. But, haters gonna hate. And I just want to say that. And if anyone listening feels like this hits them, then it hits you and you should feel it. And that's anybody. That's not even directly to anybody I'm specifically, talking to. I want to ask you a quick question real quick while we were talking about music. I thought about him the other day. Has anybody seen Daniel Caesar since he was capping for them white girls and told us to cancel him? I think it was last year or some shit. Have you seen Daniel Caesar?
Nah, I think he was on like a song with Brandy or some shit, but that's about it. No, I haven't heard anything from him.
Hey, that nigga told us to cancel him. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm riding for these white people. Like, I don't give a fuck. Cancel him. I was like, damn, ain't heard from that nigga since. I heard a Daniel Caesar song that came up in a playlist or whatever that I was playing. I was like, damn, what happened to that nigga? Motherfuckers get too big for their britches. They think they out here. Though. He can definitely sing, but look how you just shut that down. Shit, Chrisette Michele can sing. I saw her the other day.
Can she?
I like Chrisette Michele as far as vocally.
I've never liked anything outside of maybe the shit with Ross. I've never liked anything she's ever sung.
Have you ever listened to an album or anything?
Nah, I couldn't even get there. No. I ain't like none of. I just don't like her voice.
I like Chrisette Michele. I do. I like her music, but I ain't tripping. Like, I ain't went to go listen to no Chrisette Michele shit since the fucking Trump inauguration. It ain't nothing I got that bitch, y'all. Listen, I don't care about y'all people. Like, I really don't. Like, Chrisette Michele or Daniel Caesar don't provide any type of artistic and musical abilities to my life that I have to struggle with. Niggas I have to struggle with is called like a Robert Kelly or you know what I'm saying? Niggas I have to struggle with is, my borderline with Michael Jackson or with my relationship with Kanye West. Like, them the niggas that, you know what I'm saying, that I struggle with. Chrisette Michele, Daniel Caesar, yeah, I ain't struggling with y'all niggas. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I can never hear Daniel Caesar again. Be totally fine. And be totally okay. But Daniel Caesar, wherever you are, hope you're getting it together. I hope those white girls are blowing you properly and made it all worth it. Before we get into your black facts, V, I just wanted to give a quick shout out, and I actually heard about this young lady on another podcast, but I just thought it was so dope that I wanted to shout her out here. And it is Dasia, is Dasia Taylor, and she is 17 years old, and she is in the 80th Regeneron Science Talent Search. This young lady invented stitches that change color to let you know if a wound is infected.
Oh, wow.
That is super dope. Now, here's the thing what makes it extra dope. So apparently there is technology out there currently where doctors can insert or stitch you up with certain type of sutures. And you can use like your phone or technologies that the doctors have to indicate if there is some type of infection. What makes this so dope is because this same black young lady, and she's black, 17 years old, Iowa City High School, she knew that, hey, all of these other countries in third world and all this shit don't have technology.
Right.
Like, how can they be afforded the same luxuries of knowing when they have a fucking infection like everybody else? So, like, her science experiment included like beats and some shit like that to determine like the pH, and a certain pH is signs of an infection, and that makes the sutures turn a different color. Let me tell y'all something. I always thought I was the shit. Let me tell y'all. I always thought I was the shit. I ain't got nothing on these fucking kids. Like, these kids now be on some like other level shit. Like, that shit is so dope. And you 17 years old, and I'm hoping that you can get some type of patent for your shit and become rich. Because this is something that if you admit this at 17 years old, what else you gotta do? Ain't shit else you gotta do. Like,
no, you ain't gotta do shit.
You ain't gotta do shit. So just shout out to Black Excellence of Dasia Taylor at Iowa City West High School. You are Black Excellence, and I think that's dope because it be so much crazy shit going on with the kids. You hear about the 14 and the 15-year-old girl who killed the Uber driver?
13 and 15.
13 and 15-year-old girls that killed them.
Shit wild.
That shit is super wild. And I was hearing about, basically like it's some ring going on that they think maybe these girls were a part of, basically where they're getting, it's New Jersey Drive. If any of y'all seen the movie, they get younger, they get kids basically to steal cars and shit because they get less time and shit. Not knowing that these little girls is about to fucking kill a Uber driver. What's crazy about this today and why I'm bringing this up, because one, we were talking about a fucking little black kid that was excelling, and now we're talking about two little black girls whose lives will be changed forever and have literally killed a man, but they worked out a plea deal. So basically they're only in jail till 21, and then they're gonna be able to get out. Do you feel like that's fair based on the age and the frontal lobe, or what do you think?
That's really young, especially like 13. Like, that's 15. 13 and 15
is not too far apart.
Really young.
Yeah.
Like super fucking young. Like thinking about like in terms, especially when you have kids, or around kids around, of that age and how they think and shit. But then on the flip side, like and I heard Charlamagne say this on, speaking of that, he was like, if prison was reformative, like what it's supposed to be, and like they're putting programs to help motherfuckers get together, instead of just fucking making them worse, then I'd be all for like prison, which I'm still for prison because they still did a heinous act. Some
people definitely need to be in fucking prison, no doubt about it. A lot of people need to be.
Because it was, the same dude that beat the shit out of that Chinese lady and had killed his mom and shit. You know what I'm saying? He released from prison after killing his mom and then beat the shit out of a Chinese lady in New York.
Wow.
Some shit like that. So, they certainly should be arrested and put away for the crime that they committed. 13, like, I don't know if you give a 13-year-old life,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm not the person who's on the other end of that.
Yeah.
Right? So like, it's not
not
my
your family
that got killed. So I don't know, man. That shit is that I really have no idea. Cause like, I think they definitely should serve time. The duration of the time, I'm not sure because again, you know, a 13-year-old fucking kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, and 15-year-old fucking kid, cause shit, 15 is, that shit ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I think it was somebody's idea. I think the person whose idea it was, should get a substantial amount of more time.
Yeah.
Cause you got to be responsible for your actions and pay the consequences for those. But in terms of what that looks like, I'm not sure.
Yeah. You know, I struggle. I struggle as well, with this. Cause I can definitely see it from both sides. I definitely don't feel like life is the answer. But I also feel like, 6 years ain't enough.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, 6 years ain't quite enough for the crime. Like, I understand you do shit and you have to learn from your mistakes. I get it. They're children, they're learning, their frontal lobe is still, closing. Like, they don't have it all there. But, at the end of the day, there are consequences for certain acts. And some of us have to learn the hard way. I know for a fact that if I were the family of this man, and the other part about it is that they black, which I hate, makes it even worse. But, if I were the family of this man, 6 years definitely wouldn't be enough. I don't know how much is enough. I really don't. I really don't know how much is enough. I feel like 6 years ain't enough though. Like, I really feel like that. I feel like they need to have some more time or, I really wish that, prison was a rehabilitatory type stay, like you said. Like, I wish that that's how it was. If we were in a more decent country that gave a shit, it would be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we would have less recidivism and all of that great thing that come with motherfuckers going back and forth to jail. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't help how our system sets them up. So once you're in there, you have a record and that makes life harder. And so all we're doing is creating repeat customers in a country that has a private prison system. Right? So it's just like, damn, like, as the parent though, like, are you just like, no, my child don't deserve this and they should get less? Like, are you, as a parent, like, would you advocate for less? Or would you really, like, have to just suck it up and be like, yeah, my child deserves 6 years if that's all they got? Like, they deserve the 6 years. And that's considering if these kids even have parents that are, really in their lives like parents should be. Cause a lot of these kids are fucking, I'm assuming if you out here, I don't want to make no big assumptions cause I know, some kids have their minds of their own no matter what type of parents that they have. But you out here stealing cars and shit. What position was you already in where you felt like that needed to be your outlet? Was your parents there for you or your mom or your dad or family members? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just a sad story because I always sympathize for like children. Because you didn't ask to be here. You didn't ask to have the fucking parents that you have. You didn't ask to have fucking parents that were on drugs or have mental health issues or, whatever. You just came here and now you all fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And now when you go, I wonder when they go to prison, right? If they go to prison or juvenile or, juvie, wherever they go to, like, is it off their record? Like, is it expunged? Did you hear anything about that? Where they might still have a life after this shit?
I'm not sure.
Shit crazy.
Yeah.
It's very polarizing because they are in fact children and children are dumb as fuck. Like, from a social aspect, children, they just trying to fit in. Their friends are their biggest influencers. I get it. I understand. We all have been kids at one point in time. And to the point where we probably don't even remember being kids because we thought we knew it from the time you know what I mean, we were able to talk to now. Like, we always felt like we knew some shit. But looking back on it, you like, damn, I ain't really know shit for real. I thought I knew everything. I ain't really know shit.
Yep, it's a fact.
Could you be able to turn your child in if they did something like that?
Probably so.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's the tough, like, that unconditional love shit is unconditional love, but it depends on, I mean,
you can have love and accountability, though.
Like, yeah, I mean, you would have to turn them in. What they gonna, like, you gonna, like, hide them out forever? Like, at 13. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you could be a parent with money. You know what I'm saying? You can send your child somewhere. You can,
Where?
Boarding school overseas.
Yeah.
No extradition.
I ain't doing that.
You know? Yeah, it definitely seems like a lot. Listen, I listen to, already tell y'all all the time, I listen to true crime podcast. Listen to a podcast where a 16-year-old boy raped and killed a 13-year-old girl. His parents had influence in the community. They got this nigga out on bail, even though, like, it was raised something crazy. They pleaded with the judge, got the nigga out, said that they needed him out because he was learning bad words in jail. He killed and raped a 13-year-old, and he learned the bad words in jail. They got that nigga out of jail, waiting for his court date and shit. You know what he did? Kill his own fucking brother. Now you got a child in jail, and it's on you. That now you missing another child. He decided he was just gonna bash his brother's head, and his brother was laying on the bed chilling. And he decided he was going to bash his brother's head in with a bat. He said he just felt like he wanted to know, he wanted to know what it sounds like when a bat hits a human skull. Mm-hmm. As a parent, again, I'm not a parent. You're a parent, so you can shed more light on this, but just as a human with eyes, like, you know when some shit ain't right. You know when your child ain't quite right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may not want to admit it, but your job is to get them as much help as they possibly can get and not put other motherfuckers in danger, pretty much. So, like, that shit is just crazy, especially when it comes to kids. They say frontal cortex, frontal lobe is not fully closed and functioning until you like 25. And we talked about that when we talked about renting cars and shit. But I heard some shit where they were talking about reevaluating the legal age. What do you think the legal age should be? Where someone is, like, considered an adult?
I'd say maybe 20. 20? I guess.
Yeah. I was thinking like 20, 21. I was thinking once you get out of college, whatever college age is, because you are required to be an adult once you graduate, theoretically.
I mean, but you can be an adult. 18 is definitely not. You're definitely not an adult.
Yeah, but, for sure.
I mean, when you're out of high school, like, you can join the workforce. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you're able to pay bills, like, I was 18 paying bills. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely wasn't an adult, but I was an adult. You know what I mean? Like, I was a young nigga and shit and had a young mentality, but I also was on my shit. You know what I'm saying? I was paying bills and figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Bumping my head as I go. But, I was working full time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had 40, I was 9 to 5, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, at 18, I mean, I say that, but I definitely had various 9 to 5s. You know what I'm saying? From summer youth program. Shout out, DC, I heard is doing summer youth, but they're basically DC or Maryland. I can't remember which one, but they are basically paying kids to, like, go to class and shit. So, I mean, if you're going to fuck off the money, they might as well get an education with it. Shout out to the summer youth program. That's the one thing I will give Mayor Barry. DC people love they fucking Mayor Barry. They love that crackhead nigga, but he definitely, had us good for the summer jobs. We were making $4.25 an hour. Y'all do the math on that in the 90s. $4.25 an hour. And I thought I was rich, my nigga. Like, 14 making $4.25 an hour. Like,
you go from zero to something.
pretty much. Oh, you ready to give us some black facts, B? A black fact?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get into B's black facts. Skibbity-bee-bop. Oh, B's black facts. Let's get with the shit.
Yeah, it was my birthday, so I saw somebody that, like Pharrell got the same birthday as me. I thought, I wonder who else got the same birthday. So Colin Powell, he's got my same birthday.
Wait. So the Black History Facts is about black excellence that shares your same birthday.
Correct.
Hey, I ain't even mad at it.
Colin Powell, 65th anniversary or 65th United States Secretary of State.
Yep.
He was born in 1937. Pharrell, everybody knows Pharrell. 1973 is when he was born. I was just born. I was born in 83. And Sterling K. Brown, the actor, from
All of Us.
This Is Us. Most
I say all of us.
I guess.
Yeah. This Is Us.
Booker T. Washington was also born in 1856. He is one of the smartest black men to ever grace the earth, I would imagine.
What up, big book?
Justin Holiday. He's a basketball player, in the NBA. I don't know who this is. Some guy, Nathaniel Klein. He's an associate. He plays American football.
How about you name the niggas we know and shit? Yeah, you like, and some nigga I know that has the same birthday.
Robert Glasper was a pianist. He's a, world-renowned pianist and producer. Judge Mathis was also born that same day.
You smoke crack, don't you? No, what he say? I used to smoke crack and shout out to Judge Mathis, man.
I don't think he used to smoke crack.
That's Joe Brown. I'm talking about Joe Brown, ain't I?
Let's see who else is up here. Nobody really else.
I thought you was bringing us to a crescendo. Nigga said, and some other niggas.
Steven Jackson's, that played basketball that got in a fight with Ron Artest and them.
That blew in his
NBA champion. Shammond Williams for all the UNC people in North Carolina. And I think that's about it. I don't see nobody else of notoriety.
All right.
I thought it was pretty dope.
Well, happy birthday to all April 5th people. And the black excellence, and no shout out to motherfucking, what's my guy from the West Coast that faked his death for April Fools?
Who's that?
Not DJ Quick. Was it DJ Quick? One of the West Coast niggas. Damn. Now I forget his name. But he posted that he was, in a shootout and he got hit twice.
Oh yeah, that was Quick. Yeah,
that was Quick, right?
Joe Budden shit. Yeah.
Quick shit, and then he was like, oh, I was just playing in a real zesty way. But he was like, I was just playing April Fools. Like, nigga, that ain't no shit to play about.
Yeah, that
shit was dumb as fuck. Like, okay, you just wanted to be relevant for the day. Niggas motherfucking sending you prayers and shit. Don't fuck with our prayers, nigga. DJ Quick, don't play with us, bro. Don't play with us.
Prayers to DMX though, for sure.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm glad you said that, because I had that and I ended up skipping over. Prayers to DMX. So for y'all who don't know, DMX is like on life support and critical condition. They saying, he had some type of overdose, heart attack. Yeah, I saw, good Judy, fucking Funk Flex talking about what y'all gonna do for him. Y'all sending prayers. Like, what are y'all gonna do for him? Nigga, I'm gonna send him a prayer. That's what I'm gonna do. That man a grown ass man. Like, DMX, let's keep it a band. I hope he recovers. I hope that this is his rock bottom. But DMX has had drug abuse issues forever. He's kind of like, no disrespect, he's kind of like that female Whitney at this point in time. I mean, that male Whitney at this point in time. Like, what can you do? Hope for the best. But listen, when you do shit over and over to your body, shit happens. And I'm hoping that he can bounce back from that. But I'm just like, nigga, what do you want us to do? Like, what can we do besides pray for him? Hope for the best for him. Hope that he can change his life around. Cause I personally fuck with DMX. I think DMX, you know, that was my era. DMX was my era. His verses was great. I'm glad he did that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if Lamar Odom can bounce back, I feel like anybody can. And I guess that's a little bit
get a shot.
iffy with Lamar Odom, but, you know, just prayers to him, man. Like, I really do hope that, he gets better. I didn't know, homegirl, from Power Book was his, like, goddaughter, the little chick that looks super young, but she actually like 30 something.
Tell you now?
No, the girlfriend, she a college student on Power Book. Okay.
I don't watch Power Book.
Got you. Okay. So, you know, I've never watched Power, but I've seen like 3 episodes of Power Book, like various episodes of Power Book. But the light skinned girl, she was on, My Wife and Kids or something like that. I can't remember. Cute girl, like 31. She reminds me of Stacey Dash because she looks fucking 1920 all day. Stacey Dash didn't start aging until she just let us know that she was self-hating.
Right.
Chocolate colored Vert, white woman. But hey, shout out to all of that. We about to get into some little shit, man. You ready to get into some little shit?
Sure. All
right. Little shit is our pop culture segment. It's about all the fuck shit on your timeline. B, you looking, like you on the wagon? Any vices today?
I drank a beer earlier. Smoked a little weed.
Spoke a little bud. Yeah. I am. Oh, I sent you that video the other day. I just want you to know, I just got a good laugh out of that video. The video where I did you with the bald head filter and the beard shit. Like that shit cracked me up. That shit popped up on my phone because Siri likes to remind you of shit randomly. And I was like, yo, I'm about to post this shit again, bro. And my sister hit me like, yo, I just saw that video you posted of B Hill. Like, you sound just like him. You look just like him.
That shit was mad.
But I'm over here off the, peach vodka and tonic. Also have my vape pen here. And you know, let's just get into the bullshit. So, Uzi, our favorite little guy. So as you know, B, Lil Uzi Vert and JT of the City Girls, have been dating. They have a history. Throughout this dating history, Young Miami has made it very clear, the other member of the other 50% of the City Girls has made it clear that she's not really fond of Uzi. She's never really given reasons why, but you get that sense behind the scenes of your good friend that told you something about a nigga and you feel like she shouldn't be with the nigga no more, but she's still with the nigga. Listen, y'all, stop telling people fucked up shit about your mates if you want them to still like them. Keep it to yourself. Period. But you know, we don't know I don't know the behind the scenes as to why she doesn't like Uzi, but that's always been very, very clear. JT and Uzi called Young Miami on the live and Uzi tried to make like small talk. JT said that they was drunk, you know what I'm saying? Off the 1942. Why can't I get my dates together today? Right.
Nigga dyslexic.
Could be temporary dyslexia, but math was never my thing. So I probably just blank the fuck out when it comes to math like that. But yeah, so they call faded. Uzi tries to make like this small talking shit, like when you like, let me speak to your homegirl, and the homegirl don't even fucking like you. You know the homegirl don't like you. You just trying to charm your way or maneuver your way over. And Miami told Uzi, like, we don't have to be friends. All this is on live. You know what I'm saying? Uzi kind of flexes and calls her like Carisha, which is her government name. Then he tells like JT say he doing too much, and he kind of tells JT, you'll do whatever I say. If I told you to tongue kiss me right now, you'll do it. So shut up. Like, kind of like a flex. Like, yeah, this your homegirl, but she do whatever the fuck I say. Now, all of this went down on live, and then in walks Southside, which is a producer, which is Young Miami, aka Carisha's baby father. He addresses Uzi, and he say, don't say nothing to his bitch. He say, you handle your bitch on your side, and I handle my bitch. You don't have nothing to say. He threatens to punch him in the face. He says, don't say nothing else. He said, you know, it was a lot of bitches used. He said that you don't get in their problems. You need to bag back. And then he goes into, claiming that he saved Uzi from getting robbed by Offset. And he said, I'm the same nigga that saved you from getting robbed by Offset. And then remember that, keep rocking your purses and doing that little bitch shit you be doing. I was like, wow, only because I've seen similar situations happen with regular people, right? Where friends don't like the nigga that the nigga, you know, the chick with, they got this smoke and, you know, all of these types of things. But out of all this that's going on, can you imagine Uzi having sex with a grown woman with her own money? Like, he's such a little weirdo. Like, he gives me like 14-year-old little gay boy vibes.
Yeah, he's a weirdo. I don't know. He's a strange fellow. It's a very odd couple.
Very odd couple.
All four of them shits. Like, even the Southside nigga, he's a weirdo.
He is.
Like, why he always so fucking angry, bro? Like, that nigga always yelling in his phone and shit. Like, that shit, this new age shit is weird. I hate it all.
That's
like,
how you know we old. When shit don't make sense, we old.
Yeah, you implicating other niggas who catching strays. You tell, you know what I'm saying? What if the police was like, oh, you be robbing niggas and shit? You know, what if he was like, I don't know, man. Niggas is weird, bro. I hate it. That shit is corny. Like, he's always fucking angry. Like, I don't like that little nigga. Like, just cause he like always be acting like he's so goddamn tough and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
he got tattoos on his face. When you have a bunch of tattoos on your face, you don't give a fuck, clearly. Like,
nigga stupid.
He is. He's always angry. I know that they've broken up quite a few times, and they not young either. And when I say they not young, like they 30, like they like, you know what I mean? Like they not like some 21-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? That's out here doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, they are a wild couple. JT and Uzi, I would have never thought. Like, and I know JT got mad niggas in her fucking DMs, like niggas with money and shit like that. But that just goes to show, listen, it's a lid for every pot. And you can't make assumptions about other people and what they like. Cause I literally cannot imagine sitting there with little Uzi and him doing something where you like, ooh, that's sexy. like, ooh, look at him with his Ugg boots on and his purse, twirling his back, twirling his hair. Yeah. I just don't understand, but I understand it's not my ministry, but I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, Uzi and Yaya Mayweather.
Yeah, she's slow.
Bruh, both of them give me 14. Like, they give me 14-year-olds.
Yeah. I don't know. She
her father's child.
Yeah. She's slow. But at least he got punched in the head.
Hey, listen. Floyd got punched in the head so hard his sperm dizzy, my nigga. Like,
yeah, that's pretty wild.
Like, she not working with she not working with a full deck at all.
Yeah, that video when she was dancing that Coley Ray bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch. She's a little girl. I'm sorry. That Coley Ray and the girl was like, I don't know what the lyrics of the song
I think it's
was,
like Joy to Pain, and she was just like 1, 2, 3.
She was like 1, 2, 3.
With confidence though. With confidence though.
Funny to me. I was like, damn, what is it? And somebody, and I had seen the other day, like right before that, like somebody was like, yeah, that little motherfucker, she's slow a little bit.
She is slow.
Yeah,
she's slow.
Like she had mad slow moments, like with young boy was fucking spazzing on her dad and shit and all that shit. Like she was just sitting there looking crazy. I said, "Oh yeah, this little motherfucker ain't right."
We've had several conversations throughout the years about Yaya Mayweather, and she done stabbed somebody. She been looking stupid. She done damn let young boy call her daddy a bitch ass nigga. She's going, and speaking of her stabbing a bitch, I saw online today that it was like the 1 year anniversary of that. The bitch like, I'm getting my feeling back. I'm almost good. like what the fuck? And then the thing about young boy is, young boy, 21, 7, 8 kids, and he literally like goes from bitch to bitch and posts them. At least Future only posts one bitch at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he 20 though. I mean, he
a kid.
A whole lot of bread, like the most streamed artist on YouTube, which is the wildest shit in the world. Like, that shit is
But
crazy.
that goes back to parents too, cause his mama don't seem like she got it all.
Oh yeah, she's fucking.
The apple ain't far from the tree.
Yeah, she's slow as shit too.
Floyd figured out how to make money off of being slow. He, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's up with Yaya. I don't know. That's where my
Floyd ain't really slow. He just can't read.
Oh yeah, that's Floyd, enough qualification for me.
Touche. But I mean, shit, he made $1 billion. Like he know how to make some money. So
hey,
I mean, you can't be stupid making $1 billion.
Hey, you can specialize. Let me tell you something. This is what I be trying to tell people all the fucking time. You can have a specialization. You can when y'all go to these people that got XYZ degrees and PhDs and all of this shit. You're able to learn a topic. You're able to specialize in shit. That don't give you like a flat out pass of just being smart. That means you found the subject and you can focus on that bitch. Like, that's all the fuck that means. And yes, unlike Yaya, who I'm assuming has been granted certain privileges in life just because her father has motherfucking bread. But that just goes to show it takes more than money to raise a child. It takes more than money to raise a child. So for everybody who just like, oh, they pay for their kids, bruh, nigga. If all I had to do was pay for some kids, I'd have some. If all I had to do was shoot some bread over somewhere, you know what I mean, and not have to do nothing, that's the easy part. We pay bills all day. That's just you treat your kid like a bill. You're able to afford a bill. That's not raising a kid. That's paying the bill. But the dry snitching shit. I definitely felt that like that nigga was dry snitching. And throwing motherfuckers under the bus. I hate a dry snitching nigga.
Mm-hmm.
When something is, I know it's different because we're dealing with people in the public eye. But is it real shit or is it clout chasing if something happens on the internet and then you addressing it on the internet?
I mean, some people be like, they want a public apology if you made a public, display or whatever. And I get that too, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Like, just talking in your phone is weird to me. Like,
cussing in your phone.
Yeah, spazzing on your phone. You hot, you yelling, and like, nobody's on the other end. You know what I'm saying? Like, people see it and shit, but it's just, I don't know, crying in your phone, all that shit to your phone is wicked to me. Like, that shit is just some wild shit. Like,
no,
weird.
It is weird. I think, cussing somebody out in your phone is the same way as crying into your phone and recording it.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the last thing I'm thinking about.
That is definitely. So when DJ Quick posted that shit originally about him getting shot and shit, literally the first thing that came to my mind was, wait, you in pain and you making a post? Like, that shit don't sound like it makes sense. And then a couple minutes later, it was like, oh, I'm playing with y'all. Like, all right, whatever. In your life, have you felt the need to be cool or in the good graces of your significant other's friends?
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever not been in their good graces? Well, how did that go? Tell us about it.
It's just weird, man. I mean, you know, it's just like, I don't fuck with you like that. You know what I'm saying?
Did they have a good reason?
Did they not? Did I have
a
good reason?
Did they have a good reason not to fuck with you?
Oh, nah, I don't think nobody's ever disliked me for whatever reason.
Oh,
not that I know.
You dislike people.
Disliked, yeah, like other motherfuckers. I don't be fucking like, motherfuckers be doing some mad weirdo shit. So my allegiance be to my people. You know what I'm saying? So I just like, you know, yeah, shit. They be around and shit, but I'll like.
What reason have you had not to like your significant other's friend?
You know, just like fuck shit, like, you know, just doing mad shit that like I couldn't tolerate in my relationship type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, man, you crazy as hell, ain't no goddamn way. And then, you know, like, and continued actions and shit. Is
it how they act or how you feel like? Is it an action that they do, or is it an action that you feel like they can convince your significant other to do?
No, I might not even like the person. Like, she just be doing too much.
Oh, like just as a person.
Just be doing too much. Like, I'm that, like, I don't fuck with that motherfucker like that. Like, keep her ass at the crib type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Type shit. But,
you know, I
mean, most of my people, all my people like my old lady from what I can tell anyway, like, for the most part, so.
I've been on both sides of that. Not very often, where someone doesn't like me, but I have had, you know, situations where a motherfucker is all, you know, hunky dory to my face, but then, you know, your significant other goes, oh yeah, and they said da 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 da. And I understand when there is, so like throughout time, you know, when you have your friend group or your whatever, you know, circles that you have, it becomes very interesting times when your whole group or majority of your clique is linked up. You know what I'm saying? Like they in, you know, relationships or whatever the case may be. And then you always had that one friend or the friend of your significant other, that's single, air quotes. That's single, and then they mad because they single, so they want to talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and try to bring their friend, again, goes full circle. Misery loves company. You know what I'm saying? So try to talk shit, and I'm just like, bro, what can you say about me, bro? Like, what can you say about why you don't like me? Because I don't interact with you that much. You know what I'm saying? And when we do interact, you all up in my face. But I've also been on the opposite side of that where I'm just like, yo, like, I don't like your fucking friend. And it don't have anything, like you said, it don't even have nothing to do with me personally or anything that they've done to me. Like, just not my type. Like, you just not somebody I would rock with or be cool with. Like, I've been in various situations, and, you know, it's always interesting because one thing you got to understand that when you deal with someone, and especially on your end, be like when you get married to someone, like you taking on their friend circles, you taking on their family, you taking on their job, like you taking on like all of these different circles. And, you know, some people feel pressure to have, you know, motherfuckers like them. And me, like, personally, like, I've never dated anyone where motherfuckers was just like, oh, you shouldn't fuck with them. Like, some people had that though. Where like, if someone dates someone, you just like everybody telling you shouldn't date that person. Have you ever been in that situation? Where motherfuckers like, don't fuck with them?
Yeah, for sure.
How did that,
having a baby.
How that pan out?
Motherfucker got pregnant and everything. Shit was whack.
Motherfucker got pregnant. Shit was whack. So is the reason you shouldn't have messed with them because they were fertile?
Freak. She was just a freak.
Oh, this was going to be a Maury situation. And you just was you loving them or was you just crushing them?
No, it was my girl type.
Oh, word.
She was like just a freak. Yeah, I was like 19.
Oh, okay. Got you. Just young hoe. Just young out.
I was a young hoe too.
Yeah.
Looking back at it. Still my nigga though.
Well, shout out to B Hill's old young hoe. Like, still my nigga though. Uzi.
Staying in Atlanta too, matter of fact.
Hey,
my friend.
Shout place where the hoes at.
She ain't a whole no more though. She cool.
She married?
Like, she was young. No. Not married. But she married. She did have like 3 baby daddies, but.
Oh, shit.
Whatever. She probably is a freak. She was definitely a freak. Shout out to her though. Still my nigga though.
This whole situation with, JT, Uzi, Miami, and Angry Southside is it little shit?
Shit.
Yeah, it's shit. Cause like, first of all, I just feel like if you don't like you, just relax. It's okay. Like y'all can be together. If I don't like you, just be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell, Young Miami did not want to be bothered with that nigga at all. I wonder what he did though. Like, for you to not like him for your friend. So he had to do something. Lil Mama is facing backlash after sharing, transphobic, post on her Instagram story. She posted something a couple weeks back, following Zaya Wade's, interview with, Michelle Obama, right? And she was talking about the fact that transsexuality is related to depopulation. When questioned about it, Lil Mama pretty much doubled down. And she says that there needs to be a heterosexual rights movement. And she stated that, because people face bullying from the LGBTQ community. She claims that straight people are afraid to be honest with their opinions because if they do, the LGBTQ plus community will hear what they want and take it out of context. She says, I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I'm just trying to speak my truth like y'all. She sounds very familiar to a group of people that I like to call racist, right? I should be able to say whatever fucked up shit about a certain group of people and not face backlash, right? Which I'm all about free speech. I feel like you should say whatever the fuck you want, but people have the right to react however the fuck they want. And you have to deal with that. Lil Mama is not backing down. Do you think this is a hill for Little Mama to die on?
I mean, is she willing to?
Yeah.
I mean, if she's sticking to her guns, yeah, absolutely. That's what, she believes in what she believes in. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell nobody what they want to believe in. You know what I'm saying? What makes them. If that's what she believes, shit, I ain't trying to change her mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just give her my perspective and, we can agree or we can agree to disagree. You know what I mean? But if that's the hell she willing to die on, that's for her.
Why? Here's what I want to know. Why do people like Lil Mama, like your fave Lil Boosie, like all of these other ignorant people out here, why do they think that these kids is running out getting their fucking genitals transformed? And you can't even get surgery until you're 18 years old, unless like there's a legit medical excuse. Why do they think that? What is it that is, in your opinion, not only making them speak out about shit that they don't know about, but to also double down, triple down, quadruple down on shit like this?
I mean, well, I guess because people ask them multiple times, right? So like, you either gotta, if you believe in it, you believe in it. You gotta mean what you say what you mean. You know what I'm saying? So if I talk to you about it and then I do another thing tomorrow, and I feel the same way, then I'm gonna speak the same way if I'm asked about it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think that's what the crux of that is, you know what I'm saying, in terms of that, for what your question is. I mean, if you say something, you 9 times out of 10 believe it, you know what I'm saying? Or if you don't, you might backtrack, but then that might be just for the sake of backtracking and you still believe it, but you just don't want the fucking backlash. So, yeah. I mean, but 9 times out of 10, you pretty much believe it, you know what I mean? First time you say it.
So there's a difference to me between how I feel and facts, right? Y'all out here so fucking worried about these parents and the genitals of their fucking children. Y'all already know how I feel about Lil Boosie. I don't fuck with that nigga. Fuck that nigga. Get it. He say some shit that's funny, but I'm really laughing at him and not with him because I think he's ignorant as fuck. Lil Mama always fucking getting in her own way. She always getting in her own way. But here's the fact. The fact of the matter is kids ain't out here just getting fucking reassignment surgeries. And y'all seem like y'all so fucking worried about their genitals so much. Like their genitals is like the main thing on your mind. Like why the fuck is this absence or addition of a dick or a pussy on a child is worrying y'all so much?
I mean, because I guess they're saying transgender, so that's what I mean. What you think about changing your gender, you like in order to be another person or an opposite sex, you have to change your genitalia, right?
No. So these children feel like they are whatever it is that they feel like they are, the opposite of whatever they were born. So you have somebody like Tighe Wade who is choosing to, dress in girl clothes, and I do air quotes on that because all that shit is a construct. Society told you what to do and you did it. It's no rules on that shit. However, Tighe Wade chooses to wear clothes that would be traditionally more feminine, have braids, conduct herself like a young lady versus a young man. How is this your business? Why do it matter? It's not your child. Like it's not your child.
I guess it.
And you can easily look up if kids are having reassignment surgery if you're so worried about motherfuckers' genitals. I just don't understand why you just can't educate yourself. I guess that's the part that kind of rubs me the wrong way.
I mean, but but if you're just saying that you're something versus, so like, it's just a slippery slope in my opinion. Like if I could say I identify as a white man, like, and I check white on fucking whatever else. What's the difference in me doing that versus somebody doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if a person says they feel like they're a woman, I can say I can feel like I'm white and then check white boxes for the rest of my life and then identify as a white man. What's the difference between that?
Okay, I'll educate you on what the difference is between that. The difference between that is if you feel black, white, Asian, Latino, whatever, that's because of a cultural experience that you have shared. Because of, you know what I'm saying? There's no such thing of fucking feeling like a fucking black man or feeling like a white woman or feeling
but if I say I identify as a white man and a man says he identifies as a woman, I don't necessarily see the difference. Well, because
the reason
so if I bleach my skin, right? So if I bleach my skin and say I'm a white man, but I'm black down deep without doing like a sex change or whatever the fuck type of change, and a girl says that she's a man and she does a sex change or doesn't even do a sex change, what's the difference between the two?
Yeah, I didn't quite get the question, but I think that when you have gender, right? Now, I've never been trans. I don't know what that feels like. All I can do is go by their experience. And what I can tell you about what I've been educated on about their experience is that I don't feel like what society has constructed as what a man is and what a woman is. There's a difference between a societal construct and culture. Black is because you're born black, you're around black people, you've had black experiences. And that's why you're black. You can be white and say, I feel like I shared a black experience, but at the end of the day, your face still white. Your DNA is still white. We're talking about science here versus a gender reassignment, right? So your body is one thing. Your body is one thing. You're in this case, right? But that don't necessarily mean your brain and your body is on the same page. Like just because you're born with the dick doesn't mean that you have the brain of what is, I guess, societally structured as like a man. I honestly do feel like B Hill
still sounds the same to me. Like
honestly, I feel like if society got rid of all these constructs of what men are supposed to do and what women are supposed to do outside of the biological signs of science, I feel like a lot I feel like a lot of these motherfuckers would be like, yeah, I feel like a dude, but I just may not feel like the traditional dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might not like the shit that you like because you a dude. Like, maybe I am a dude.
I mean, that happens now, though.
Yeah.
That happens now. Like, I mean, there's plenty of niggas that don't like sports. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty, you know what I mean? Like,
but it's a difference between a nigga who don't like sports and a nigga who, you know what I'm saying, likes to do everything that is traditionally set up for a woman. Like, he has no connection to being a man outside of having a dick. Pretty much. But at the end of the day, here's the real question. Why is it your business?
I mean,
why is it your business? If it doesn't relate,
I just find it interesting because, like, it's just parallels. Like, I think it's like you can't have one without having the other, in my opinion. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if people identify as whatever they identify, it has to go on from the left all the way to the right. You know what I mean? And wrap around into a circle. Because, like, the thing about it, so then say Zaya has tomorrow, she's the child of one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And she says, you know what? I feel like I should play girls basketball because I'm a girl. Then she goes and competes with girls and she's fucking dominating them. And because she's genetically a boy's body in a boy's body and has this athleticism like that's uncanny. Is that fair to my daughter that has been busting her ass?
So now we're getting into laws and rules that man has set up, right? Like, that don't have nothing to do with how she feels. Genetically set up, the body, her testosterone, all that shit. I'm with you. Like, it's set up like a man. I do feel like the brain and the body can be independent of each other. I do feel like that. I've never had that experience, but I feel like that can happen. Stranger things have happened with science, the body. Listen, I always tell people, like, if you have a healthy baby, 10 fingers, 10 toes, healthy, that is a blessing. So much shit can go haywire in that 9 months. So much shit can go haywire upon delivery. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is scary. Like, for y'all motherfuckers who, listen, much respect to mothers, much respect to those mothers who want to have multiple, because ain't no way I can see myself signing up for that. That's the closest thing you get to death. And women choose to do that multiple times. Shout out to you. I'm not built like that. At fucking all. So we got to separate what man has made up with their social constructs and their laws and things like that, and just talk about a person.
You say social constructs, I get that, but it's also genetic constructs that you just can't avoid, right? Like, a man is going to, like, it's certain constructs, but men are
physically stronger. Majority of the time. Yeah. But I don't understand how this is tying back into that, though. I don't understand how the ability to play sports is tying back into how this child feels. I guess we're just moving.
I'm not necessarily even speaking of sports, but when you say, like, these constructs, like, there's certain things that men do and there's certain things that women do. It's just
the science is there are certain things that men are physically stronger. You know, men have testosterone. They have this hunter-gatherer, just innately think most men, because we know a lot of men don't know how to do shit. Let's keep it a band. That's the difference. It's a difference between, I can also feel like a female. I can also feel like I have this empathy. I have this sympathy. I have things that are naturally female as well, but also be strong as a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not separating the fact that they're physically strong or physically look a certain way.
That X and X chromosomes can and cannot do. That's just the reality of it. Like, it's just, so when you have, like, these constructs and these things.
Constructs girls are supposed to do this and boys are supposed to do that. That's what I'm talking about, constructs. Constructs is.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it from the fundamental and foundational level, then that's kind of where it stems from, because there's certain things that boys/men can
Give me something directly. Yeah, physically.
Run faster. Throw something. Like, we're just stronger. Like, we can, you know what I mean? Like,
got it. Men are stronger.
Like,
you can be a strong woman. Like, you can feel like a woman, be strong as fuck.
In terms of, like, brawn and shit like that. Like, moving shit, picking up shit, doing this. Like, You know what I mean? But then there's the strength that women have by bearing children and being
Correct.
emotionally stronger and being nurturers and things like that men just can't fucking do. So it's just certain X and Y does things that X and X don't do, and vice versa. Like, that's just the way it goes. Like, you
I'm with
have
that.
So,
but there's nothing that's telling you that a social construct is y'all feel like, and I say y'all in the general sense, y'all feel like because this little girl that was born a boy, she got to dress in traditionally boy clothes to satisfy y'all. I don't get it. Why is it your business? If that's what she wants to do, if that's how she feels, it could just,
because if
we just talked about little Uzi. Uzi wear more girl clothes than anybody. Young Thug has on a dress
and you
all
just said
day.
how weird that was.
I think you should do whatever the fuck you want to do. I just have a problem with motherfuckers out here doing all this shit and being homophobic at the same time. That be my problem. Motherfuckers be doing gay shit and be homophobic at the same fucking time. That is my problem. That's my problem with hip hop. That is my problem with a lot of shit that goes on in our culture. Niggas' pants is tight as fuck. Niggas' asses is out. Niggas got they fucking nails painted. They getting they fucking lace fronts. They getting all this shit. And the only problem comes in when somebody is brave enough to identify with what they really are. Niggas out here doing what will be traditionally gay shit all day, but as long as they don't say they gay or feel a certain way, y'all big them niggas up. Them y'all niggas. That nigga hard. That nigga can rap. That nigga kill somebody. But as soon as that same nigga say, I fuck with niggas, niggas like, oh shit. All the signs was there, my nigga. So what's the difference? You don't like the fact that he identified himself. That's the problem. My problem is that people don't like to deal with the brave people. I feel like it's brave for a Zaya Wade. I feel like it's brave for a Lil Nas X. I feel like it's brave for people to, especially, I always just have a special place for black men because I feel like it's so much harder for them to be who they are. When really, you in here, you sitting next, Young Thug and fucking Lil Nas X sitting right next to each other, and motherfuckers gonna throw darts at Nas all the fucking day because he's true about who he is, and he not being a bitch nigga about it. Like,
I don't know if that's, I would agree. It's mad niggas that say, call Thug and Uzi all type of maggots that run with the F. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've definitely heard that. So nah, I don't know. But
it ain't the consensus. Like, it ain't the consensus, and they do the same things. Like, the shit that rise to the top on the news is nigga,
if Young Thug posts a picture or a video, you read the comments on all that shit, and niggas be like, this nigga a fruit. You know what I'm saying? This nigga gay as shit. All right,
got another joint for you.
That's a fact.
If you having a party at your house, and you got on some Young Thug, is a motherfucker gonna say some shit to you? No. But if you have on some fucking Nas X, they were like, you got this gay nigga. You listen to this gay nigga.
I would say,
come on, let's keep it a band.
I'll be honest with you, like, nigga, I done heard niggas say Thug gay ass. That nigga, like, like, that faggot ass nigga be making some dope shit. Like, I done heard that. That's a fact.
But they still support him though.
Yeah, and nigga, I used to support Lil Nas X and still, like, with being gay with all that shit, but like with my kids love fucking Old Town Road, but I can't, like, that nigga he devilish and shit. I can't fuck with that nigga. Like, he's a weirdo. Like, he be doing, like, I don't invite evil in my, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he be doing, like, he a troll and he trying to do too much for me personally. Like, I've never, like, and I even like the song he had with, I don't know, it was another song that I enjoyed. Like, I forgot, I don't know what the fuck, I don't be knowing the name of all these fucking shit, but like, in terms of, like, I'm cool on that. Like, he got devil shit. He's stripping for the devil, and the devil, it represents evil for me. Like,
no, I got you.
Regardless of what type of sexuality you got going on, like, I can't fuck with that. Like, you doing too much. You just trying to get hot. You got blood in fucking shoes and shit. Like, that shit lame as fuck. So, like, I don't fuck with that.
Somebody broke down the video.
Gay or otherwise.
Somebody broke down the video, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, it makes a lot of sense. Like, keeping it in the band, I like Old Town Road, and I like Lil Nas X as a person. Not necessarily the songs that he's been coming out with, but that's cool. I really enjoy him. I really enjoy the fact that he just like, fuck y'all, I got all this money, I do all this shit, and y'all hating. I like that. Someone broke down the video for me, and they were basically saying that Lil Nas X basically made this video because people said that, or the meaning behind the video is that y'all telling him, the homophobes, is telling him that he's going to hell and all this shit for all the sinning that he doing. So if he going to hell, all right, cool, he going down there on his terms on this stripper pole, and now he gonna go down there and not only fucking twerk on the devil and fucking take over hell. Like, if y'all want me in hell, this is what it is, right? So once the video was broken down for me, I was like, oh, that actually is a dope message. You know what I'm saying? Like, put your shit right in your face. If you think I'm going to hell, okay, this is what hell looks like. The only people only like it if they send him to hell. They don't like and that's the thing that I really like about Lil Nas X, because every time somebody tried to shade him, he make them look fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, he make them look stupid. So I like the fact that but still, the video is not for me. The song is not for me. I like the way that he's standing up. I like all of that. You know what I'm saying? I like the fuck that he don't give a fuck. What I don't like is all the homophobes putting it on the kids every single time.
But I mean, so the thing about it for me is like he initially, now he's saying that he's not like a role model. He's not like,
but did he say that originally?
He's also been on record when his shit was popping in fucking elementary schools that he was like, that was his fan base. If that wasn't the case, you wouldn't be going to fucking schools performing Old Town Road and fucking gym auditoriums for fucking 9-year-olds. Like, so don't.
Cardi was just with kids on her Facebook show. Like, whose job is it to raise your kids?
But my point, again, we didn't say what Cardi said. I'm talking about Nas X. Nas X said specifically that he's not a role model and that you shouldn't allow your kids to da-da-da-da. But 2 years ago when that shit was getting to jumping, like, that was your fucking marketing plan. You go into fucking old, like, horses in the back. You know what I mean? So you can't have your cake and eat it too.
But did you hear the words to that? Like, that shit wasn't PG. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a PG song. It wasn't a PG song.
I get it.
So I guess my question to you, and especially as a parent, whose job is it to raise your kids? Just because this guy is young?
I mean, absolutely. I agree. It's mine as a parent, like, for sure. But at the same time, like, I'm responsible for what I let my kids listen to. But at the same time, if you're catering and regardless
when did he cater though?
Cause he went to fucking Nick Jr.
Bro, do you want me to show you how many rappers is fucking at the elementary schools that's at the Nickelodeon Awards who talking about selling drugs, beating bitches, raping bitches, killing motherfuckers? Come on, let's keep it a band, bro. If it's homophobia, it's homophobia. It just is what it is.
It's not homophobia. It's devil worship. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm not finna see you popping ass on the day. And plus, I just don't like I don't like niggas popping ass on niggas. Like, that's just not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? So if you call that homophobia, then that's homophobia. But I don't want to see niggas like fucking niggas and grinding ass on niggas. That's not my swag. Like, it's women there for that.
Yeah.
For me, you know what I mean? So
it's the video is not necessarily the song for you.
Yeah, I ain't even listened to that one of them. When I heard the nigga was doing shit for the devil and shit, I'm like, I'm cool.
So then you didn't even get to form your own opinion about the shit. To even like decipher it.
That's not where I'm at. Like, why would I even go there? So if I hear that it's a book about fucking the KKK and killing niggas, like, I'm cool. I don't need to read that. I know what that is. Like, if I hear that a nigga is going down to hell, popping his ass, and then he made fucking 666 sneakers with blood in them with pentagrams on them, that's the devil. I'm cool. Enjoy yourself. Have a ball for the niggas who enjoy the devil. That's not my. So
do you feel like you're now that he's made this particular move, do you feel like you're done with him? Or you just not fucking with this song?
I never was started with him. Like that's the thing. The thing about shit nowadays, I don't be giving a fuck about shit. I be moving on. Like, boop, that shit, I scroll. Like, I'm cool. I don't let that shit take up my energy. Like, that's the beauty of all this shit. Like, I don't have to, if I see some shit, I keep it hot. Like, I ain't got to goddamn deep dive and do it, you know what I mean? Do a think piece on that shit. I don't fuck with that shit. That shit ain't for me. The nigga's the devil. I don't fuck with that. If you make another song that's alright, I might, come to it then. But at the same time, like, but you also have cemented your place, like, by linking up with Nike, putting pentagrams on shoes, and you know what that mean. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you at with it. You know what I mean? I'm cool on that shit. And then like, I don't like niggas with titties and shit and getting like, you know what I mean? Doing like getting moles and shit. I'm cool on that. Like, it's fucking women out here with titties. I'm straight. That's just not for me. Like, preference is a major thing. Like, the beauty of it. Like, that's the beauty of human nature and human choice. Like, I can go over here and do what's going on over here. And it might be some niggas for that fucking shit. And that's well and good. Let niggas goddamn, he made it for them. He ain't make it for me. And I don't feel like I should be ridiculed, or anybody that doesn't agree with it should be ridiculed one way or the other. If you white person, you don't agree with black people doing what they're doing. As long as you ain't fucking castigating them and you know, putting up roadblocks for them to, you know, not be able to do shit, then I'm fine. But if you don't get it, if you don't fuck with it, that's perfectly fine. Cause I fuck with it. Like, if I fuck with an artist and I'm the only motherfucker that fuck with that artist, I'm certainly okay with it because they're appeasing what I have. But, you know, the mass public or whatever, shit, I don't give a fuck what they got going on one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? If it's for me, it's for me.
Yeah.
And if it's not, it damn sure ain't.
You know, you know, my personal opinion is just kind of when you find out things on your own to know that you don't like it versus a tidbit of information. And you just like, it forces you not to make your own opinion.
I mean, I get it, but also it doesn't. I wouldn't subscribe to that either, because if I get enough information that allows me to form an opinion, like said him going down to hell and popping ass on the devil and putting a crown on him and shit and then taking the crown, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't want to be the ruler of hell. Like, that shit doesn't sound fun at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do none of that. So like that 20 words that I found out about, oh, nah, I'm straight. I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not going to YouTube to find that. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, like you said, I think personal preference is key to that. I just like for individuals to be aware of maybe the bias that's coming in without you finding out your own shit with your own information. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit could be profound shit where, because you have a different perspective, you looked at it, but basically it just sounds like, I don't want to see that gay shit. Like, that's cool. But what if that shit is like a piece of art for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if that shit is, I get it. Cause like you said, it's certain shit where it don't necessarily be, I don't want to learn about it. It be, I'm just not in the mood for certain things. I'm straight.
That's just not where, that shit don't tickle my fancy. No pun intended. You know what I mean? Like, that shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't go to a Catholic church because them niggas be raping little boys and shit. Like, I'm straight. Like, that shit is the devil too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm straight on all that. Like, I know enough to form my own opinions and know where I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? Like, I go to hood clubs and I know it's inherent danger. Shit might get shot up. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't necessarily a good thing, but shit, I go. You know what I'm saying? It's just about what I'm acceptable to go to, you know, or to, you know, lend my attention to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, shit, even listening to fucking old rap songs, like when, you know, DMX was on, speaking of, like when he was doing all his shit, like, faggot, that shit sounds different at fucking 30 years old. True. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't with that shit. Like, I know that shit is offensive to people, so I ain't really with that shit. Like, the music didn't age as well. You know what I'm saying?
That is very true. I've been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just go through different periods in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, like, as I learn and I grow, but also at the same time, like, I'm still, you know, I have still beliefs and shit like that, and they may evolve, but at this particular time, they're not. Like, that shit is, I'm cool. Like, that shit could have been fucking Cardi B going down to the goddamn shit twerking on the devil. I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, it's regular niggas you could twerk on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool. That shit, that's evil for me. Like, that's a representation and a signification of evil. You know what I mean? The devil, like, believe in heaven and hell or whatever, but what it is, it's just evil. You know what I'm saying? And I'm big positivity. I don't like seeing motherfuckers die online. Like, I don't put that shit is the devil. Like, I don't want to see motherfuckers murdered and shit. Like, I'm cool on that. Like, could you be friends with the atheists?
Yeah. We differ on the beliefs because ain't none of this shit. All this shit, like, I don't subscribe to religion like talking about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I do believe that there was a Jesus Christ. I do believe there was a Muhammad. I believe all these motherfuckers descended from wherever they descended from and spitting game because it's people that, you know, I feel like have a divine spirit. You know what I mean? And I believe in, like, because I've been to a point in my life where there was nobody else to talk to but God. And that's on a daily basis for what it's worth. So, you know, and I believe in parallels. If it's a good, it's always a bad. If it's a left, it's always going to be a right. So, and that's just my personal belief. And again, I'm not trying to cast my beliefs on you Like we can, you may not believe in God. I got homeboys that don't believe in God. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then back in the day, it was the weirdest shit in the world to me. But then as I grew older, like,
I get it.
That,
like it's your
whatever,
shit.
You know?
Whatever.
Yeah, that's you. You know what I'm saying? But we can talk about the game. You might think that Kobe is the best fucking basketball player and I think LeBron or Michael Jordan and shit. So we differ in opinions on all accounts. But as long as it's not impeding in my life and making, you know what I mean, where you're forcing me to try to do something and go against whatever I got going on, then nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if we don't agree on other things, that just the culmination of all the beliefs that you have versus the culmination of all the beliefs that I have, if those don't, you know,
coincide,
interact enough, then I ain't gonna be your friend anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of who you pray to or don't pray to or whatever, I don't give a fuck about that. But we got to have some commonalities. And if, you know, you like, I got motherfuckers that I fuck with, you know what I'm saying? That like fucking men and like fucking women that like fucking women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't treat them no different. We don't agree to that. You know what I'm saying? But shit, like, nigga, pass the weed. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, like, nigga, pick out some pastel colors for a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's some real shit. Dead ass serious. Like, word up. So,
pick out some pastel.
Like, I don't care. If you good people, you good people. But if one of my friends was goddamn going to twerk on the devil, I ain't going. Like, nah, I'm straight. Like, I don't want to see that shit, bro. Like, girl, little boy.
I think that, you know, I could definitely be friends with the atheist. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Agnostic. I really think that there's a good majority of people, especially nowadays, that is agnostic. And that's just like, they don't, like most of us, you know what I'm saying? Like spiritual, not religious, don't really cater.
They don't believe in nothing though. Agnostic, right?
They kind of like, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I thought agnostic was they don't believe in nothing, and then atheists don't believe in God.
Like, atheists don't believe in God, and agnostic is basically that, like, it's whatever. Like, it's not that significant where I believe either way or another. You know what I'm saying? I just know that I definitely couldn't be, going back to what you were saying, I couldn't be friends with a devil worshiper.
So the definition of agnostic says a person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence or nature of God or anything beyond material phenomenon. A person who claims neither faith nor disbelief.
Yeah, exactly. So they like, it's whatever. That's what I say. Like, it's whatever. Like, it's just kind of like Switzerland. It's just kind of like
they just don't believe in shit. That seems like they don't believe in nothing.
I think what I take from that is that they kind of believe that it is what it is. Like, it just, I go about my life and, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of is what it is. If there is a God, great. If there isn't, that's cool too. Like, it just is what it is.
Malleable.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I definitely couldn't be friends with someone who like worships the devil. Like, that's a different type of energy. Like, that means you, like, definitely is, you do this every night. And there was a point in history in like I think the 60s and 70s called Satanic Panic. And that was the new phenomenon in America regarding people who were devil worshippers. And there was all of these claims and shit. Like, there were like these groups, kind of like the KKK in volume, that like just worshiped the devil and did like evil shit. Like, there was like this daycare, like, so like there was like this daycare where this kid said he was molested. And then like they turned the whole story into like this devil worshiping thing, and got different kids from the school to all say that they were molested. But interrogating kids back in that day was totally different. Like, they'll be like, "Oh, Brandon, did he touch you here?" You'll be like, "No." You'll be like, and they'll say shit like, "Oh, well, Billy, he was really good in here. He said that homeboy touched him right here. So if you want to be good like Billy, show us where homeboy touched you." You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be like very fucking leading to the children. So they made all these claims. But anyway, Fun fact, there was a time in American history where there were a lot of cases on the books about devil worshiping and satanic panic. Wrap this bitch up. Fuck it. Lil Mama. Lil Mama and her heterosexual rights movement. And feeling like LGBTQ people bully people for their opinions. Is it leadership?
I definitely do. I definitely do. Like, I definitely, like, if you say some shit, like, it's fucking full on attack. But, you know, that's everything. This is what it is. Like, at this point in life, like,
everybody got the right to say whatever they want to. Yeah. Just like you have the right to say, everybody got the right to retaliate or say, sure. give like their opinion. So for you to be like, and first of all, heterosexual rights movements is called rights. They're just called rights. You know what I mean? Like, heterosexuals have all the rights. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, white people saying that there should be a white rights movement. They're just called rights. Y'all already have all of those. You have the same rights. I feel like, so this is shit to me. Lil Mama has the same rights to say whatever she wants, and everyone has the same rights to say what they want. Like, you shouldn't go by scot-free sure. because you airing out your grievances on motherfuckers, and motherfuckers can't retaliate or say whatever the fuck they want to. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want till the fucking cows come home. Like, and people have the right to react. So, it's just that everybody got the same fucking rights, but Lil Mama ain't gonna never be great. Like, this ain't the hill to die on, in my opinion. Let's give out some advice. You ready to give out some advice? Yeah. All right, we're gonna go into Ain't Shit in 2 Cents. Ain't Shit in 2 Cents is our listener letter segment where we give advice to listeners who clearly don't care about taking advice from me, who's feeling really good right now, and B Hill, who had some shit earlier and just celebrated a birthday. Today's letter came in from Anonymous, and the subject says, y'all with like a rack of fucking L's, and it say help. It says, long story short, I met my husband online 3 years ago. We were long distance for 2 years. We would see each other once a month or every other month since we live on opposite coasts. So that was the frequency of us having sex. He proposed a year ago and we have been married for 6 months. Yes, we had a pandemic wedding. Don't judge me. Since being married, my husband is really taking advantage of this honeymoon phase. He wants to have sex all the time, and I'm realizing that I'm not a huge fan of sex with him. I have never been a super sexual person. Sex is something where you can take it or leave it for me. Never understood what the fuss was about, honestly. It's all starting to feel like a task. I thought I liked having sex with him, but I'm really realizing that I liked him, not the sex. We saw each other so infrequently that I think the thought of seeing him actually turned me on more than actually having sex with him. How do I tell my husband I don't want to have sex, and that it's not him, it's me? Y'all think my marriage is about to be over? I don't want to lose him because I love him. I may just suffer through the next 40 years. Help. And that's from Anonymous.
Well, Miss Seeley. I guess he just gets on top of you and does his business. But I don't know, man. I would hate to be with somebody that doesn't want to have sex with me. So I would definitely address that shit like sooner than later. And then if not, I mean, if you're fine, like, cause he gonna fuck, like, you're not gonna, clearly he likes to have sex. So he gonna get some pussy. So you need to like have some resources in place. Like,
resources.
Okay. Like, you gonna have to let them know, like, you can get a little pussy here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you don't, like, obviously bring nothing home or have a baby or anything like that. But, like, I mean, he's gonna have urges. So he's either gonna do it one way or the other. Because clearly he enjoys having sex. He, like, enjoys having sex with you, which is, women are crazy. Like,
fake it all the time.
Yeah, and that shit is whack. Like,
why? Why fake it?
When a man,
I was just saying, why fake it? Like, how's that doing you? How's that helping you at all?
That's what I'm saying. Like, So to have a nigga that want to have sex with you, because niggas don't be wanting to fuck their old ladies, and I know for a fact, not me. I love having sex with my wife for sure, but like I know niggas that don't be having like, you know, like great sexual relationships with their, you know, women too. Like women don't be having good sexual relationships with their partners and shit, and that means a lot. So my thing is like, if you want to continue and you say you love him and you want to be in a relationship with him and continue your marriage, I think that you want to have some alternatives for him, because clearly he likes to have sex. He's a man. Back to the whole XX program, like niggas like to fuck. Like that's what we like to do for the majority. Like, you know, a good percentage of the population of men like to have sex. We have a high sex drive for the most part. If we can, you know, if we can.
Fun fact, women like to have sex too. They just get labeled as hoes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true
women
too.
like to have sex too.
Even,
that's where that societal construct thing goes back into it. But that's just.
Yeah, for sure. But then there's women that don't like to have sex.
And there are men who don't like that sex. Yeah.
That's true too. That's what I'm saying. But the majority of men enjoy having, like, not like, that's why they call us dogs, because a dog will fuck anything. Like niggas like to have sex. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of niggas that enjoy having sex with, you know, various women or whatnot. You know what I mean? So,
I think that's no.
So it's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? Like you got a good situation where a nigga want to fuck you, and then like you don't want to fuck him. That shit is pretty trash. So you're gonna have to let him get some pussy somewhere elsewhere. Or at least give him the option. He may not even want to. Like, he might, you know, like, fuck it, I just want you, baby, and shit like that. But if you ain't giving him no pussy and shit, and like, that shit is a task, nobody wants to be fucking, you know what I mean? Like, coerced into having sex and like, make it, like, you know what I'm saying? Get on top of you, do your business, Miss Seeley, that shit whack. Nobody, like, you need to throw it back, shit like that, have fun.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, real shit, that shit is whack. Like, nobody wants to fuck a board. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, and, you know, listen. Women will put on theatrics and do all of that. So, you know, they can make a nigga feel like it ain't like a Miss Silly doing his thing. Like she giving you all the moves, all the shit, and still just can't wait for that shit to be over. You know what I'm saying? That is whack. I don't believe in that. Especially now. I don't believe in that shit. Like, listen, if we having bad sex, like, if I fuck with you hard enough, I can try to coach you through it. Other than that, ain't nothing I can do for you. You know what I'm saying? Life's too short to be having bad sex, to be protecting motherfuckers' egos. Because if you having sex and you not enjoying sex, that's just cardio. If you just want to burn the calories, all right, cool. But it's more so of exercise, you know what I'm saying, than you actually having a good time. And I feel like sex should be enjoyable. Like, that shit should be lit. Like, that should be like, fucking the best part of your day, in my opinion. But, you know, for your particular situation, you know, I feel like one thing I didn't think about is, you gotta get him alternatives, you know? One thing about women that is, you know, known for women, or, you know, being accredited to women, is that I feel like women really do have a better grasp, or will fall in love with a person versus the physical. And so I honestly believe that you probably really do like, love this dude, he the best, and you just like, but this other part, I don't think so. But you gotta be real with yourself. And you also gotta be real with yourself and understand, are you just not a super sexual person, or you ain't been fucked right?
That too.
You know what I mean? Like, it might not be, you know, the way you want it, or who you want it with, or how you want it, or you could be into some other stuff, and knowing how you want to be loved isn't just, or how you like to have sex isn't just the, you know, actual act of intercourse or whatever version that you call sex, right? It could be what happened before that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know what I'm saying, you need more foreplay, or you like certain things to happen, or whatever the case may be. I can't identify with being like, asexual. That just seemed crazy. Although I used to feel like Michael Jackson was asexual, but I don't know now. But you know, some people are not that thrilled about having sex, but I feel like you waited a long time. It sounds like you just coming to like certain realizations, and I don't know how old you are or anything like that. Nothing in here gives me any indicators on how old you are, but you know, maybe you just haven't been fucked right. It's where I'm gonna land with that. So I would say get to know yourself. Maybe that requires a little, you know, getting to know yourself. You know, masturbation or something like that, and see what gets you off. But if your final conclusion after you do this soul searching and try to figure out, you know, what you want sexually, if you even want anything sexually, like if you find out like, nah, it's just him, you gonna have to tell this nigga. Like, I feel like you got to tell him. You got to have a conversation with him. And it might not be the most pleasant. And yes, there is a possibility that you could lose him, because I know personally, just like B. Hill said about him, I wouldn't want to have sex with someone who's forcing themselves to do it, or who's not having as great of a time as I'm having. Like, I wouldn't want to do that. That doesn't sound fun, and I don't feel like you should subject yourself to it or subject him to this if it's not what it is. And you should definitely not suffer through the next 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Listen, life ain't about pleasing people. Life is about living it. So you might have to love that nigga from a distance, because if nature and science says anything, nigga gonna fuck. That nigga gonna need, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, let us know what you decide to do. We rooting for you. I'm really hoping that you have, you know, some type of sexual awakening, and because you really love this dude, y'all can figure out what y'all may need to incorporate into your sex life in order to have it, you know, work how you want and get you excited, versus something on your to-do list because it's Tuesday night and y'all scheduled sex for 8:30. So, Anonymous, let us know. And if any of y'all want any of this A1 advice, hit us at the ain'tshitshow.com. No, the ain'tshitshow@gmail.com. And that's the X where the I would be. And your letter could get read on the show. Let's wrap this bitch up with some free smoke. Free smoke is where we talk about any hot button issues. It could be anything from politics to petty. And B. Hill, today's topic was inspired by, you know, some of the kind of drama that was going on with Joe Budden's podcast. And the topic of like working with friends. So Joe, for you guys who don't know, Joe Budden, or who's not, a listener of the Joe Budden podcast, great podcast. It has had, maybe 2 iterations, but this last iteration is with Mal and Rory, which is his friends. The first show was with Rory and Melissa, what's her name? Marissa, which they were Joe's friends as well. I mean, Marissa was Joe's friend as well, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, they've had falling out of sorts, and they've been off the show. Are they back this week, B?
Nah, they still ain't back. They record tonight. They record on Tuesday, post on Wednesday. So
okay.
They haven't been there for like 2 weeks.
And I saw Trey Budden, Joe's son, may be guesting today or this week or whatever. May or may not be true, but he was definitely in there with him during that time. But I know that, you know, we've worked with friends before and family. So this is friends and family. And I just wanted to talk about working with friends and family, experiences that we've had, and just kind of like tips that we can give, you know, when working with friends and family, because things can get very murky when you're working with friends and family. You know what I'm saying? We are friends and we do this every week, you know. And there has been another iteration of this show prior to B coming in.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With friends. And I've had other businesses and other opportunities where I've worked with friends. I honestly haven't worked with a lot of family, but I've definitely worked with a lot of friends. Have you worked with a lot of friends and family and or?
Kind of, well, not family.
Yeah.
I mean, friends, yeah, but not where like our work is like predicated off of each other's work. You know what I mean? Like I had my own business and I had like a couple of my homeboys working on the truck. You know what I'm saying? So that shit got a little hairy.
So give a little bit of insight, like what made it hairy? I mean, without disclosing y'all personal business, but just in a general sense.
Oh, I mean, you know, like niggas not showing up to work and shit.
Thinking shit cool.
Calling in and
like you gonna understand.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And then like, you know, niggas like in the pay, like, I mean, from my end, it was always solid because, you know, I'm a solid nigga. Like I got scruples in terms of business. I did various business throughout this life of mine and, you know what I'm saying? Like made a good way for myself, because of the principles that, you know, I stand on in terms of business. I always try to keep my face clean. So whenever I say I'm gonna do some shit, I do it. And when people don't necessarily do the same thing, that, you know, muddies water. So, and then it makes me look at you in terms of our friendship as a different thing. So I try not to like, that time I'll give my niggas some credit. Like the situation the predicament that we were in, like one of my homeboys, it was a Rooms to Go truck. You know, I got a contract in the thought that I'd be able to get one of my homeboys to drive the truck, but his license was suspended. And he also had like a couple charges and Rooms to Go was real like finicky with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So then we had to get resourceful and, you know, use alternatives. And we found a driver. My homeboy was a second hand on the truck because he's naturally just a mover. Like he's real good at moving furniture and shit. So he was kind of like a shoe-in for the job anyway. But the driver, he was just mentally, it was a tough job for sure. But the driver wasn't mentally prepared. However, it was the most money he'd ever made, like in his shell. And he told us that.
Ever?
He was paying him handsomely for the job. Yeah, for sure. And it was like a $10, $11 hour type nigga. You know what I'm saying?
That just goes to show the world. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But even despite that, like money wasn't the motivator for him. And he was a good work and shit, but him and my homeboy, like it'd be wild because him and my homeboy, like that's one of my best friends. Like it was two of my homeboys on the truck because one of my homeboys was without a job and he was shooting bad. So I was like, you know, they needed some additional help. And I was like, well, fuck it. My homeboy ain't doing shit. It was like my homeboy that was on the truck originally, he was like, bruh, we need some extra help because we be getting home too late we just need like somebody to do some bullshit. And one of our other homeboys, he was like, you know, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, I can't give you a whole lot of money, but you can get all the tips and whatever that they get. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he was able to do that or whatnot. Fast forward, you know, the driver who was like the outsider of the whole operation, like they would, you know, niggas would get into it. They on the truck all day. So like, you know, like they
personalities like didn't mesh or
they just clash, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when you in the truck with a motherfucker all day, like it's just you and him in the road. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's the chance where either y'all gonna bond and be super cool or get on each other's nerves. Like ain't no middle.
And niggas was cool, but then when you with somebody 8 hours a day in those type of conditions where you moving and hot and doing all type of shit, you gonna get aggravated and agitated very easily. Like it's just what it does. But, you know, and then it just, you know, like I said, niggas was not showing up to work on time or being late or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and to the point where like we hearing feedback from like the people at the spot and it's like, then I don't want to have to reprimand you and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Cause you my nigga and shit. But at the same time, like this is where my money coming from. So needless to say, I try not to do business with friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause then when the shit go funky, you can spaz and then like be fine with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you a bitch ass nigga, or, you know, not even that, like just be professionally like rude. You know what I mean? For what it's worth. And then like not feel no way about it. Versus your friend where you say some shit and nigga be like, nigga, you a goddamn and then, you know, it could be whatever.
You know how we talk about, you know, we always bigging black businesses up, but we also express our concerns with black businesses, right? And one of the, I think the mutual concerns that we have with black businesses is sometimes they feel too comfortable. Yeah. They feel too comfortable where they feel like they can drop that professional veil because we fam. You know what I mean? Like brother, sister, fam. You know what I'm saying? Take that privilege and add that to somebody who's actually in your family or is your friend. You know what I'm saying? They really feel like, who the fuck are you to hold me accountable for the shit I signed up for? You know what I'm saying? And it's not always like that, but you have to understand what the relationship is prior, first of all. Like, if you hire your little brother, and you know you and your little brother have a older sibling, little brother, relationship where you always talking shit. They never want to listen. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. That shit ain't gonna magically change because y'all working together. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of people can't separate the business from the familiar aspect of the relationships. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But one of the things that's very interesting to me is when people hit you up to work with them on something. It could be like a project. It could be like some of their business. It could be something they want to do, not necessarily like forming an entity together where it's done on a regular basis. And working with friends, people hit me all the time. Like if I had $1 for every time, just on some podcast shit, if I had $1 for every time somebody said, hey, I'm trying to do a podcast. Can you help me? Yeah, I can help you. All right. So like what I gotta do. So this is what you need to do. You need to go find out this information, look at this equipment, figure out this, figure out that, and come back and holler at me. And then we can have a conversation. Don't never hear from her again. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or people hit me all the time about like, various shit, but motherfuckers be like, oh, you know, you creative, you got a creative mind. Like, I need you to help me with this. Now, do you need me to help you with it or do you need me to do it for you? That's another thing about working with friends and family. Like, understand if they want you to do the heavy lifting or they literally like want help, right? So motherfuckers come, I'm trying to start a business. Like, whatever, like you good at XYZ, you know, can you do this? Okay, well, cool. Let me see your business plan or what's your demographic or where you marketing this or whatever. So I can know my part. If I have this information, I can do my part. Oh, all right. Don't now hear from them again. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't hear from niggas again. And it's like niggas be saying they want to do business with you, but really they be wanting you to do the shit for them. So that's been like a roadblock that I worked with. But one of the positives that I can say about times in which I've worked with friends, and like I said, I haven't worked with a lot of family because love my family, love y'all, but I know some of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like you know your friends to a point. You know your family even deeper. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't worked with a lot of family, what I was saying, but like even like working with friends, like one of the positives is that you kind of do have a person that kind of knows your temperament. So if you get with the right person, they are able to work with you versus just, you know, your coworker who don't know you from a can of paint and you just irritating today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like your friend is able to kind of sympathize with like your personality or the different moods that you can be in or understand what's going on. And I feel like when you're working with friends, they can also be in a position to watch your back against other people or against other entities or, you know, so like to me, it ain't all bad, but I have had, you know, very interesting situations. I've had situations where motherfuckers don't want to help you do shit. They just want the glory. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to do nothing. But they want, you know what I'm saying? Like, wait, I'm supposed to get a Grammy too. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't want to do nothing. Right. Have you had successful family friend working relationships, and what made it that way?
Not really.
Damn.
I mean, the shit I had, the Rooms to Go shit was, you know, it was good. I mean, cause I haven't really, outside of that, like, it was cool for, you know, 6 months. We made a lot of money. I was able to pay a truck off that, you know, that I basically leased or whatnot. But nah, it was, it was short lived. You know what I mean? So
you've expressed the fact that you've had a life, you know, prior to being, you know, a corporate man and all of that. You ain't never had pros or cons working with your friends and that type of shit.
I ain't gonna talk about that necessarily.
I'm just talking about relationships. You didn't have to say what it was about. I'm just saying, I'm just asking for a high level. Give the people some tips is what I'm asking.
Like because niggas don't be what they were. It circles back to what I said just a minute ago. Like, I'm just a man of principles in terms of, you know, like, if I'm gonna say I'm gonna do some shit, I'm gonna do it. Like, in all varieties of life, you know what I'm saying? And niggas, like, time, like, my time is super precious. Yeah. So I don't like when motherfuckers say they're gonna be there and don't be there. Take them 20, 30 minutes and shit. Man, shit happens in between that. I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? Like, my time is my time. So, and like, I always try to be as punctual, you know what I'm saying? And people don't be punctual and that shit annoys the fuck out of me. So, yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, dealing with people, you know what I mean? Friends or otherwise. Like, I just don't like that shit. I like to be, like, I hate being late, you know what I mean? I hate not delivering when I say I'm gonna deliver on something, you know what I mean? Like, I hate all that shit. So when other people don't live, when other people don't live to my own standards, I can't fuck with it. And whoever it is, friend or
have you had to have conversations with friends about stuff? And if so, how did you approach it?
I'm fucking vocal as shit. I just be like, that's some fucking, man, at this point, you should know how I rock. But, like, if I don't like some shit, I don't like it. Like, and I'm gonna address it. You know what I'm saying?
But there's a difference between just coming at somebody versus we having a conversation. So is yours just like kind of an outburst? Like, nigga, you ain't shit, blah, blah, blah.
Like, yeah, I'd be like, yo, that shit, like, what the fuck you got going on, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? My time is this, and then you ain't coming in. Like, I mean, I don't broach situations. I mean, I try to, you know what I'm saying? Try to lead with peace, but when I'm annoyed, I'm annoyed. Yeah,
I'll have conversations. I don't mind having conversations because I understand that we're two vibrations operating differently. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to come with peace. I have conversations with people because I want you to understand what the expectations are or where we're having discourse. Now, after I've had the conversations a couple times, then I'm irritated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I'm a lead with peace type person. And I'll put up with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what the outcome is. Is it best for me to put up with the shit? Or is it not? Is it best for something? But I'm definitely going to have a conversation because I just don't feel like you should, me, the way my personality is, I ain't just going to bark at somebody and let some shit just stupid wild. Like, what the fuck? And, you know, people do have that, I got this going on in my life, and they feel like you should be sympathetic. But, you know, working with friends can be, working with family and friends can be difficult, but it can also, be rewarding. So, you know, hopefully y'all having the best experiences out there. I want to thank y'all for listening. And we'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Make sure y'all subscribe to the show. Y'all know where we at. We at the ain'tshitshow.com. That's an X where the I would be. And we're on all the social. And y'all know I like to leave the show with a quote. And today's quote is, stop second guessing your ideas. Your genius will not have a chance to thrive inside of your head. And until next time, y'all, make sure y'all continue, man, social distancing, all that, wash your hands. Until the week after next, manifest your destiny. The marathon continues.